The prophet of thought. Open your mind. 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 Open your mind.
Join the league. Join the league.
Open your mind.
Hey guys, T.P.O.T. on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. But you knew that already.
Brother Jay Shine.
You get that work. You can't fake that. Way off code. You get that work. You can't fake that. Disrespect me, you get that work. Way off code.
Brother Jay Shine.
You get that work. You can't fake that. Way off code. Disrespect me, you get that work. You get that work. You get that work.
And we are back. Peace, folks. And welcome back to another edition of the Proper Thought series right here on the old T.P.O.T. YouTube page. I'm your host, X, of course, but you knew that already. That's why your black asses are here. Now, tonight, I know y'all gonna be disappointed, but especially those of you who are fans of Jay Shine, brother Jay Shine hit me up. He had an emergency, so he is not going to be able to make it tonight. We'll probably get together on another Saturday night, but brother Jay Shine had a serious emergency, and he had to go ahead and take care of that serious emergency. So brother Jay Shine is not going to be here tonight. I know that's a disappointment to many of you, but it is what it is. Shit happens in people's lives. So, old X, don't hold it against him, because X has a life too. And he also finds himself with a few emergencies from time to time. So it is perfectly understood. Jay Shine, y'all know, is my brother. And he did hit me up a while ago. And he said, X, I ain't going to be able to make it because he got something going on. But we still are going to have a show. So before I get started, y'all know I always start the show off with thanking all of you good folks, man, for your support, for your views, your like, your shares, your subscriptions, and your views. Because like I always say, you don't have to do it, but you do it anyway. You show up here every week. You watch these shows. You watch the debates. You share, you like, you do all of that. And also you drop your hard-earned pennies, nickels, dimes, quarters, and 50-cent pieces. And you don't have to do any of that, but you choose to do it. You good folks choose to do it. And for that, man, I'm thankful, I'm humbled, I'm honored. I appreciate all you good folks, man. I appreciate all you good folks out there. And I also appreciate all you good folks up in here, man. Because like I said, man, you don't have to do it, man. Y'all support this channel so much, man. And it is phenomenal. It's magnificent. It's all of that, man. And I just want y'all to know, man, that I don't take it lightly. You know what y'all do for this channel? Absolutely not. I don't take it lightly, man. And I appreciate every single one of you good folks. I do. All right. So let's get at it. But before we get started, I do have to remind y'all that Thursday, that's Thursday, October 22nd, the one and only, the good doctor, T. Hassan Johnson, will be in the house, 9:30 p.m. Eastern time, and we will be discussing the hating on masculinity. I know pretty much everybody knows who the good doctor is, Dr. T. Hassan Johnson. I'm pretty sure you know who he is. But those of you who don't, you will find out who he is Thursday, 9:30 p.m. Eastern time, right here on the T.P.O.T. YouTube page. All right? So have your black behinds here, because if you don't, I will haunt your old black ass mama in her dreams. Yeah. So make sure you're here. All right. So before we get started with this little impromptu thing, because y'all know what we do here. We go ahead and do a little impromptu shit. So let me go ahead and do a little roll call. I see my brother New in the house. What's good with it, brother New? Brother Kenny's in the house. What's good with Little Rock? What's good with it, brother Little Rock? Black Manosphere Inc. is in the house. Peace. Who else is in here? Oh, Lady Jazzy is in the house. What's good with it, Lady Jazz? What's good with it? Yeah, so what we're gonna do tonight, man, we probably do a little impromptu thing. And don't let your eyes deceive you. That's right down there. You see me running it across the banner. I hope y'all are getting out there and voting. You know, I don't care who you vote for. You can get out there. You can vote for one of these politicians that splashed all over our goddamn television sets and our computers and our phones. Or you can go ahead and vote for Kermit the Frog, Miss Piggy, Big Bird, you know, or Oscar the Grouch. I mean, but just get on out there and vote. Even if you write in some shit, just get on out there and vote. All right? Get out there and vote, man, because that's your voice. All right? That's you playing your part in the quote unquote political process. So go ahead, man, because if you don't vote, man, you can't complain about the political process, man. Don't complain about something that you're not taking a direct part in. To me, that just doesn't make any sense. You're not taking a direct part in it, man, up or down. You don't really have a right to complain, man. Hey, what's good with it, brother Rob? I see you up there, brother. What's good with it, man? Yeah, so like I said, Brother Jay Shine is not coming up in here tonight, but we probably going to do a little bit of impromptu stuff because that's what we usually do. You know, we kind of just throw it together because, hey, I'm here, you're here, so we got to do something, right? We got to do something. So more than likely, I'm probably going to hit a few brothers up, see if they want to come up, see if they got something to talk about. And as a matter of fact, go ahead and send out a link or two right now to see who is available. Because, you know, we got to make something happen. We always make something happen up in here. Do we not? Folks, do we not? So, but lots been going on in this media shit, man. You know, I've been kind of scanning the airways today, and I've been scanning the airways for the last couple of weeks, man. And it's gotten kind of crazy on media. And it's also kind of crazy up on YouTube, but YouTube is crazy any goddamn way. And it appears that when things go wrong on media, they go really wrong. You know, they don't just go a little bit wrong. You know, they go really wrong. When you see problems erupt in certain parts of media, man, those little tiny sparks, man, turn into a goddamn bonfire like that. And oftentimes we feel like we have to choose sides. Now, me, I don't believe in choosing sides, man. I mean, that shit there, I try to let everybody, if you got a problem with somebody, man, I try to let that shit be your problem. And likewise, that person that you got a problem with, that person that you have a problem with, guess what? I want that shit to be their problem too. In the past, oh yeah, brother, let's do it. Let's do it, brother Kenny. Let's do it, man. Let's do it. Let's do it. You set it up. Get all the brothers in. Bring them on, man. Shout out to the fourth quarter squad, man. Absolutely, brother Kenny. Absolutely, man. Absolutely. I mean, you hit me up in my email, man, and let me know when I can get all the brothers, because I don't want to interview one of y'all. I want all of y'all to be up on here, man. I want all of y'all to come through. Yeah, we definitely got to do that. Absolutely. Hit me up. We'll figure out a day. I'm on 3 days. I'm on Wednesdays, I'm on Thursdays, I'm on Saturday nights. But for y'all, if one of those days don't work for the whole team, we can go ahead and make an exception, man, and then we can do it on another day. That's up to y'all. Y'all hit me up and say, hey, X, we can all be there X, Y, and Z day, X, Y, and Z night, whatever. And it's on. It's on. You already know what it is, Brother Kenny. Just hit me up. That's all. Hit me up. And we'll do it. But yeah. A lot of times, man, we feel like we gotta take sides, man. We feel like we gotta be on one person's side or another, man. And I just don't think that's a good idea, man. I never did. I played that game before, where you choose sides and shit like that, man. And it never works out, man. And a lot of people always tell me, oh, X, man, you like Switzerland. So you're goddamn right, man. Because, see, if I'm all right with you, I'm cool with you, right? Me and you, we all right. And another brother, I'm all right with him. I just don't feel like it's the thing for me to do to be angry at this person because you're angry at this person. All right. I mean, I'm a grown man. All right. I'm an adult man. I mean, I'm a grandfather. All right. I just don't feel like I should be conducting myself the same way my grandchildren do. All right. I mean, it just doesn't make any sense to me. I mean, I judge people on how they treat me. I don't judge them on, whether or not they friends with someone else. To me, that just doesn't make any sense, man. Just doesn't make any sense to me. So, I mean, I'm not going to do it. I mean, I'm just not going to do it. I'm not going to be part of no gang, no clique, no this, no that, ganging up on people. Man, I don't have time for that shit, man. I don't have time for that shit. I really don't, I mean, other people, man, may take enjoyment in that shit, man. But up here, man, we ain't. Good luck on that super chat, brother Ricardo. Appreciate that, brother. Appreciate that, brother, man. Yeah, man, that shit there, man, is just to me, it just seems somewhat insane. I mean, especially brothers, our age, man. The younger folks, I can kind of see it, but I mean, when you get to be my age, man, you don't indulge in that kind of shit, man. If that's what I got to do, to get along with you, I guess we just ain't going to get along. If I got to indulge in that little childish petty shit for us to be cool, I guess we just ain't going to be cool then. We just ain't going to be cool, man, because I mean, I don't have time for that kind of stuff, man. I mean, these days and times, man, there's so much serious shit going on, man. And, when you do make time to get up here and do some media stuff, man, I would prefer that when I'm up here doing this media stuff that, I don't have to, spend my time up here arguing with folks, going back and forth with folks and, threatening folks and have folks threatening me. And I mean, I don't have time for that shit, man. I don't have time for that shit, man. Because if that's what I got to do, man, to make this shit work, man, I will just quit doing it. All right. And I didn't make my bones on this shit doing that anyway, man. I mean, that's not how this channel got built, man. This channel didn't get built on talking shit about people. This channel didn't get built with beefing and arguing with people. I mean, it didn't get built on that. So, I'm not gonna, take that up now. Whether I have one person in the chat or 1,000 people in the chat, I'm just not gonna go that direction with this channel. I mean, this channel has grown over the years. Thanks to you good folks, man, all your support and everything. And I just don't think that that's necessary, man. I don't think that's necessary. You know, for this channel to continue to grow, I don't think I have to indulge in that type of activity, man, because that kind of shit to me is just insane at this point. You know, just insane. If other people want to do it, let them go ahead and do it, man. You know, have at it, man. Have at it. But T.P.O.T, man, ain't about that shit. And guess what? I'm not going to never let it get to that. I don't want it to get to that. I don't want this channel to be known for that. You know, I mean, I want this channel to be known for what it's known for, and that's debating. You know, all the brothers in the league debating, interviews of people like, you know, Fourth Quarter Talk Team, you know, and other folks that you're interested in. You know, that's what I want this channel to be known for. I don't want this channel to be known for that nonsense, man. I really don't, man. I really don't. You know, because I get requests, man, and people hit me up, you know, and some of the times when I get hit up, and some of the nonsense that I get wrote, man, that sometimes, man, people write me some shit that's just insane, and it's like, you know what, man, I ain't even trying to indulge in that shit, man. I'm really not. I have time for it, man. Brother Info, what's good with it, man? Big J Triple X in the house as well. What's good with it, Brother Info, man? You can come on up if you want, man, because we're doing a little impromptu, you know. You know, you're always welcome here, brother. As a matter of fact, let me go ahead and send Brother Info the link as well. Shit, he probably got his own show going on, but I'll send it to him anyway. You're checking out your shows down there, Brother Info, man. The motherfucking graphics and effects, man, is just unbelievable, brother. I need to hit you up, boy. I need to find out what the hell you got going on down there, boy. Y'all need to get on down there and check Brother Info out, man, because goddamn, Brother Info's graphics, his effects, his transitions and shit, man, his scenes and shit is just out of this world, man. The shit is out of this world, man. The brother's impressive with his shit, you know. So if you ain't subscribed to Brother Info, get on down there and do it. Get down there and do it, because the brother shit is official, man. Yeah, Brother Info shit is official, man. Official. Yeah, his shit is official down there, man. I was watching him the other day. I was like, look at this shit, man. You know, the scenes be changing, man. He be having all kinds of shit going on, man. His graphics are crazy, you know. His shit is crazy, man. So get on down there, man. Check old Brother Info out, man. And not only that, he talks about good shit. On top of all of that, he talks about good shit. But then again, he is information, man. So the name speaks for itself, pretty much. Yeah, it speaks for itself. Yeah, but well, nothing happened, Brother Info. It's just that, you know, it's been kind of crazy on media the last, you know, few weeks. You know, it's just been kind of crazy, man. You know, just making an observation of how crazy things have been in the days of late, man. And you sit back and you watch this kind of stuff, man. What's good, Brother Cool Jen? I see you up there, brother. What's good with it? Yeah, it's just that the goddamn you know, you watch this stuff, man, and what it does, it makes you wonder sometimes, damn, why do I still do this shit, man? Like, you know, you see so much crazy stuff, man. So you like, damn, man, why do I still do this shit? Like, I don't know, man. I don't know. I figure, hey, what's up, Brother Clue? I see you up there, brother. You know, you say to yourself, damn, should I continue to do this shit? Should I continue to make videos, do live streams, all that kind of shit? Should you continue to do it? You know? Should you continue to do it? Because, I mean, at some point, well, let me rephrase that. What I should say is, should you continue to do it? Well, let me talk about myself. Let me speak anecdotally. I say to myself, should I still do it in the same capacity, right? Should I cut down on doing this shit every week? Because we do it pretty consistently here. We rock out every Wednesday, every Thursday, and we do a couple Saturdays out the month. I mean, it's Saturday night, right? So I ask myself, should I continue to do it in the same capacity that I've done it over the course of many months and years? Should I fall back? Should I only do this shit like once a month? Should I only do it once a week? Should I just do the debates? Stop doing the interviews? I mean, I give that shit a lot of thought, man, because it's getting to the point now where some of this stuff, man. Not only do you not want to be involved with it, man, sometimes I don't even want to turn YouTube on at all. The nights that I'm not on here, I don't want to turn certain YouTube shit on. When you turn the shit on, man, there's some old bullshit going on. So it's like, damn, yeah, brother New. Yeah. I mean, that's why I always do what I do, man. That's why I do this. I mean, y'all know what I do. This is what I do. I mean, but now that it's getting a little cooler and the season's slowing down, at the shop for me, those of you who have been following me for a while, y'all know I get a little more into it as it gets to be, a little cooler, because at the end of the year, I don't work as much. I'm not working 6 days a goddamn week. It knocks down to about 3 or 4. So I actually have enough. I have a lot more time to invest into it. In the summer, the spring and summer and early fall, I don't really have a lot of time to invest, into the whole YouTube thing, because there's too much work, man. It's too much going on, up top of the morning, not finishing till nighttime. So I just don't have the time. But as the season slows down, get closer to the end of the year, I actually, some weeks I'm only working 3 days out the week, 4 days out the week. So I have 2, 3 extra days, to kind of fuck around, make videos, get in contact with people, talk to people on the phone, send emails back and forth 55 times. I actually have time for that kind of stuff, but normally, man, when it's warm, especially when you're talking about April, May, June, July, August, those times, I just don't have it, man. I just don't have the clock time, man, to invest in it. And sometimes I wish I could, because there's a lot of good people that I want to bring to y'all, man. It's just that, time doesn't allow all the time. Yeah, well, I do welding, Brother Rob, but I'm a mechanical engineer. I do all kinds of stuff. I do welding, I do metal fabrication, I do power mechanics. I work on power equipment. I work on commercial lawn equipment, bulldozers, payloaders, backhoes, commercial generators. We do hydraulic systems. We do sandblasting, you name it. We do engine modifications. We do motorcycles. We do engine rebuilds. We do engine design. Like you can bring an engine to us. We can modify it for you. We can change it. We can build you one. We can build you one to spec if you want it. Like say you have a diesel tractor or a diesel bulldozer and you want it to have a more powerful engine. I mean, we can put whatever you want. We can make it have more power. We can make it have more speed. Whatever you want. I mean, we can do it. Yeah, we can do it. We can do the same thing to your motorcycle. We can do the same thing to we do outboard motors as well. We build outboard motor engines from scratch. We build commercial lawnmower engines from scratch, commercial motorcycle engines from scratch. We do. Yeah, that's what we do. That's what we do. I've been doing it for 3 decades. But everybody knows this story. This is old stuff. But, you know, I did it for white folks for like 20 some odd years. You know, I've only had my own shop for 6. I've only had my own business for 6. I've been doing it for almost 30 years, but, you know, I spent 23, 24 years of it, man, doing it for white folks. So, yeah, you know, which I am ashamed of because I probably should have only done it for 10 years for white folks before I got out there and, you know, did it for myself. You know, I feel pretty, yes, we deal with rankle engines, brother new. Absolutely we do. Absolutely we do. Absolutely. We sure do. Shit, we sure do. You know? I mean, Wanko engines are one thing about Wanko engines. We see it's kind of challenging when you doing modifications or rebuilding a Wanko engine. I mean, we've done it because the rotary engines are pretty much like a dead field. It's a dead field because the technology is becoming new now. You know, it's you know, no pun intended, brother new, but the technology is new now, so it's different now. It's a lot different now, man. It's a lot different. It's crazy, you know. It's crazy, but like I said, I've been doing it. I've been doing it for a long time. I mean, I've worked on stuff ever since I was a kid. My father was a landscape architect, and he had his own landscaping business. So I was always around machinery when I was a little boy. I was always around tractors and mowers and bulldozers and all that kind of crap, you know, because my old man had it. So I've always been around that kind of stuff. I've always been around smoke and engines and gas and diesel fluid and penetrating oil. And I've been around that stuff all my life. You know, all my life, I've been around it. But growing up as a younger guy, I never figured that I would be in the field doing it. You know, it just kind of happened because I did a lot of other stuff before I started doing mechanical engineering and power mechanics. Believe it or not, I wanted to be an electrical engineer. I actually went to school for that. Did that for a little while, figured out it wasn't for me. Always knew my way around a toolbox. You know, that's something I've always known. I've always known how to use tools, you know, thanks to my old man. And I picked up this, you know, mechanical engineering stuff, went back to school for that. And I've been kind of doing it ever since. Believe it or not, I actually used to teach it. I taught it for 2 years, but you know, I'm an outdoorsy type of person, man. I don't like being in the house. You know, I like being outside. I like being in the field. You know, I like the sound of engines. I like the smell of smoke. I like to hear torque and rumbling and manifolds. And that's just who I am. You know, I mean, y'all see me now. You know, I sit up here, you know, with the leather jacket on and a tie. But if you saw me on a regular day, you wouldn't even recognize me, man. You wouldn't even recognize me. You wouldn't. I could walk right by you. You wouldn't even recognize me. You wouldn't, you know, because most days I'm covered with grease and oil and I got a fucking tool belt on and, you know, I smell like gasoline and all that. You wouldn't even recognize me. I'm telling you, wouldn't. You wouldn't even recognize me, man. You wouldn't. You just would not. You'd be like, who the hell is that dude? You know, you walk up to the shop, you walk right past me and be like, yo, man, you know where X at? Just walk right past me. You know, but yeah, you know, it is what it is, man. You know, it is what it is. Hey, what's good? Brother Joe, what's going on, man? Perfect Black in the house. What's good, brother Perfect Black? Damn, let me send brother Perfect Black See if you want to come up here. See if he want to come through. Yeah, man. It's what I do, man. You know, it's what I do, man. Been doing it for a long time, man. Been doing it for a long time. I actually taped myself, believe it or not, I taped myself working on a Wright commercial stand-up mower. I did one the other day. I did some electrical work on it, and I actually taped myself doing it. And I was thinking about putting it up, go ahead and edit it and, put it up. But if that kind of stuff, people don't really pay attention. I mean, people don't care about that kind of crap. Because let's be honest, I'll be honest with y'all. What I do is boring. It's not interesting. It's not interesting. If I wasn't into it, I mean, I couldn't sit and watch it probably. What I do, man, isn't interesting at all, man. It's really not. It's not interesting at all. It's a skilled trade, but it's not interesting. It's not like you look at it and be like, wow, look at that. Nah, it ain't that. There ain't nothing interesting about it, man. Even though I did tape it, I took my camera, I went out there, I went to the shop and I was doing some work, by myself, and I said, you know what, I'm gonna go ahead and tape it. I go ahead and tape it. And I thought about putting it up and I was like, nah, I ain't doing this shit, man. Because when I was looking at it, I didn't even have any interest in watching it. And I was the one doing the shit. I wasn't even interested in it. Once I watched it, I was like, damn, this shit is boring. No one wants to see this crap. What's good, brother Art? What's good with it, man? Oh, let me send my brother Art the damn. I'll send you the link too, brother Art, if you want to come up in here, man. Yeah, it's boring, man. You don't want to watch it. Y'all don't want to see the shit I do, man. It's not interesting at all. It's really not. Told you, I taped that shit. I looked at that shit. I was like, man, this shit ain't interesting at all. This shit here is boring as hell. This shit is boring as hell. Not interested. Well, Brother New said I should put it up. So I might, Brother New. I might put it up, man. See what I do for a living, like if you watch, because I've taped a couple things that I've done. I'm working on a bulldozer or a piece of commercial equipment or a motorcycle or something, and I've taped, a few of the things that I did. I don't put it up. I kind of keep it for nostalgia. I don't put it up because I put that stuff up before and nobody watches it, man. Nobody watches that kind of stuff, man. I put quite a few things up like that. I put I was showing brothers how to fix their regular push lawnmower. I did that. I also put up how to use an auger to unclog your sink and toilet and all that kind of shit. I put that up. I also put up, because I grow my own food. I have like a few gardens, and I put that up. I put how to start a garden, what to plant, how to make it. Did that shit. No one watches that stuff, man. No one watches that crap. They don't watch it, man. So it's like, what's the sense? Brother Art.
What's going on, Dr. Prophet?
What's good with it, man?
Oh, nothing much, man. Still trying to heal. Can't do much for my arm, but
what happened, man?
I had surgery. Had surgery on my elbow.
Oh,
So it's been pretty rough. I have to try to keep it as still as possible. And then, it's something. I called myself cleaning up, and I said,
When did all this happen? When did you have surgery?
A think this was last week. Had it last week, I believe.
Mm. Okay. How you holding up?
Yeah, I think I'm doing okay. You know, it went pretty deep, so that's why it's taking a minute. You know, because
Okay.
my whole arm was swollen from the wrist to the elbow,
Mm.
and they had to drain all that stuff. They called it bursitis. So,
Oh, I've had that, man. I've had that bursitis shit, man. Many years ago, I had it. I not to the point where I had to have surgery, but you know, I did. I was diagnosed with it at one point, man. It's painful as hell. Oh, Timbo Ward. You don't know who that is, man? You
I
don't
don't know who
know
that
who that
is.
is?
Who,
You don't
me?
know who that is? No, Timbo Ward. Don't say nothing, brother. I know you know who it
Okay.
is. Don't you don't know who that is, brother? I'm shocked that you don't know who that is. The dude in the top left corner, that's George Washington Carver, man. George Washington Carver, brother.
Must be in his 30s.
Yeah, he's got to be in his 30s. He don't know who that is. You don't know who that is, man. You brothers should know all the people that you see on this shit. You should know. I shouldn't have to tell you who it is. God damn it.
Yeah, this is, you know, the reason why we keep telling these youngsters that you need to learn some history.
Yeah. You don't know who that is, man? That's George Washington Carver, brother.
He's the reason why we have plastic.
Absolutely. And soy. He's the reason why we use soy.
Yeah, from
You know?
plastic.
Yep.
That's the man.
Yep.
Peanut butter.
Yep. Yep. I'm shocked. I'm shocked, Timber Ward. Damn it. Oh, you couldn't see him because of the microphone and the microphones in the way. My bad. I need to
Yeah,
change
everybody should buy a Black Inventor's book at least just to keep in the house.
Yeah. Yeah.
I got like a grip of them. But yeah, you should keep that just to remind yourself. Because they're big books. They're not little small pamphlets.
You'd be surprised, man. There's a lot of great black men, you know, on this mural here, folks. A lot of great black men up there, you know, and you goddamn it should know them all. Should know their names. God damn it. But damn, brother Art, I mean, shoot, man. So is it going to affect your teaching?
I don't think so. I don't feel any type of nerve type thing, just mainly stabbing. The stabbing is getting lighter now because for the whole week, it was like someone's constantly stabbing me the whole time. Now it's like, I feel like somebody just sticking a needle instead of a knife, so I can take that.
Oh, okay. It went from knife to needle. That's good. That's good.
Yeah.
So was it your writing arm or the other arm?
My drawing arm, yeah.
Oh, shit. So what? You ain't able to paint and write and draw and shit?
Have limited time. Have limited use.
Okay.
So whenever I do the Black Artist on the Spot or my lives, and when I'm drawing, I got to do it by computer. Okay. I can't do all that arm and wrist stuff. So if I do a computer, I can just use my fingers and the mouse and do digital drawings.
Right. Okay.
So it's a lot faster and easier.
Damn. I didn't even know that, man. But damn, you and I haven't spoke for a while, so you know, we haven't spoke shit. But shit, speedy recovery, my brother. You know, speedy recovery, man. And it's the damn drawing hand, you know. Because I know if something was to happen to this right hand right here, man, I'd be out of business. I mean, I can probably do about 60 to 70% of what I do. I can probably do it with my left. It would probably be a little harder because my left hand is more my assist hand. You know what I'm saying? Right. My left hand is my assist hand. I mean, when I'm turning wrenches and I'm running a saw and I'm running something, I'm running it. This is my primary hand. My left hand is like my assist hand. So I would have to I would probably have to practice quite a bit. If something happened to like my right hand or my right arm or something like that, it would be a bitch. It would be a bitch.
When I saw Christopher Williams got his hand stabbed by Wesley Snipes in New Jack City, I jumped. I cringed. I'm like, man, what if? Just because he's pretty, he can't draw no more. I said, damn.
Well, we done been joined by my brother, Perfect Black. What's good with it, man?
Hey, what's good? What's going on, brother X? Thanks for having me. What's going on, Art, man? And hope you have a good speedy recovery on the business money end, man, of your body, man. That's not good. So I hope you get a good speedy recovery.
Well, appreciate it,
man.
I'm going for bigger things these days, but I appreciate it.
Oh yeah.
Well, you about to get into administration anyway, though, right? You about to drift away from the teaching, right?
Yeah, I'm in the administrative program, and whatever opportunity comes up, I'm grabbing it. So I don't know if it's gonna be like some lean on me stuff, but I don't. I can't see myself as a principal, but I'll go ahead and go for that arena. I know I can do it.
Okay.
But I'd rather be over a program rather than just be an administrator. Like GATE, like gifted and talented, that type of thing. Where you be able to make sure that everybody that has some kind of gift is identified in the whole district, and you funnel all kinds of opportunities to them and make sure the parents get involved. I would love to do that. Because we sure don't have it in our district.
So what's good with it, brother Perfect Black? What you got, man?
Man, everything is good. I was listening to you saying about your career and everything that you do is boring. If it make money for you and if it's a career for you, it ain't boring.
I like it.
It ain't boring.
Yeah, it's not boring. I just don't think it's too interesting because I was, telling the folks that every now and then I actually, I set my camera up, and I tape myself working on things, maybe doing a repair or doing some welding or something like that. I've taped, a few segments of it, but I haven't put it up because, I watch it and I ain't too damn interested in it, and I'm the one doing the shit, and I'm like, man, I ain't putting this shit up.
Well, I can definitely feel you on that, man, because I'm in IT. I think I told you that I'm in IT, so and I'm in a more of a on the the systems administration and engineering side, so that definitely can get to be a bit eye drying. I mean, but I know what I do. I haven't done it as of late because of the COVID crap and everything, but I've always been real big on taking some of these black boys to get them into STEM, and having to go to my jobs and some of the side jobs that I do, and kind of having to tag along with me, kind of mentor them in that way as well outside of football. Because you just had some football games today. Kind of been busy for about 2/3 of the day. I've been busy with that, and I always. That's the pool of boys that I pull from, let them know, hey, I'm in IT, and try to get them into that, into fields where it's going to be, where they're always going to have a job. I do my best to try to steer them away from the fields that really won't give them anything, and a lot of times their parents don't like it, but I still try to steer them in those directions but those fields, they kind of take some sustained mental effort. It just does. But I do by taking them on my job with me, I make it a little interesting and it can get them interested in it. But I didn't start out in the IT field. I've always been good with computers and all of that type of stuff. I was doing custom building PCs before I had even one certification. I studied law. I wanted to get into the legal field. I wanted to get into community activism and all of that stuff, and I wanted to go through the law field to do that. But when I moved here to Chicago, I couldn't get a goddamn interview. I had studied law for a couple of years, Interned at a big law firm in Florida for a little bit more than a year, and had to move here to Chicago. And I could not get a job. I couldn't get an interview. Wouldn't nobody even sniff me. So I had to completely, reinvent myself. And I said, I'll go into IT. This is something that I never really, at that time, I hadn't even thought about doing it because I just been doing it on the side, fixing and building computers on the side. Just never even thought about it. But once I got into it, I found that I had to nurture it. I had to really, really nurture it. And the more I nurtured it, the more my career, just ascended. And that's something that I always want to push upon to black boys is to get into the IT and other STEM type fields because those are sustaining fields. Those are recession proof, COVID proof.
Yeah.
Because I can tell you right now, man, I have not been more busier. Since it's COVID, I have not been more. I have not had more recruiters coming after me. I have not had more side job opportunities. Some that I've had to turn down because it just don't have the time.
So I have a question for you, PB. In the IT, do you think it's necessary for black men to be executives in IT?
Oh, absolutely. Matter of fact, that's the trajectory that I'm on now. My career is so long as I nurture it. So long as you nurture it, I don't know about any other field, but so long as you nurture your IT career, you're going to be you're going to be ascending. You're going to always be going up. Your next job is going to be paying you at least 5 to 10% more. All of it is. So yes, and that's the trajectory that I'm on. Is more the executive part because that's where a lot of the money is at. But even more important for the black community, see, now you become a shot caller. Now and you're in a position to hire. Now you're in a position to groom. I mean, and I don't mean just bring the work, I mean really, really groom. So, and I don't see a lot of black executives in the IT field. So, but that's the trajectory that I'm on, and that's kind of where I'm headed. Because that's one of the reasons why I haven't even moved out the community. I still live on the south side of Chicago. I can live in the suburbs. Don't want to, but being at that executive level, you have a lot. There's a lot of not just power, but there are a lot of connections, right? So there are a litany of connections in all industries. You know what I mean,
Okay.
and not just the industry that I'm in now, but in other industries where you have connections where you can start plugging these black boys in.
The reason why I asked you this question is because that's what I've been really pushing. I mean, I go from the educational standpoint, like if you really projecting that particular field where it's required for you to have some sort of certification or
Mm-hmm.
degree.
Mm-hmm.
I push that rather than people just saying just get a little something on the side and I'm like, no, I mean that's fine because we got plenty of those, but we
Mm-hmm.
need somebody in the executive position to hire them
Exactly.
because we're always getting hired by people that don't like us if we lucky.
Exactly.
So
And
that's why I was asking you that.
and the important thing with that, because I've seen to date I've seen two black execs, the IT execs. Okay, and I wish that they were more community minded. They would not do what a lot of the white boys do in his position or in their positions. They The white boys that went, and I see this now. I have a couple of guys up under me right now who are not really qualified for the positions, but the execs wanted them, and they tasked me with getting them trained up. Looking at their resumes, I'm like, well, he's not qualified. He can't do this. He can't do that. I'm gonna spend more time training them on how to do A, B, C, D, and I'm about to train him on how to navigate his way around Active Directory, and he doesn't even have an A+. So, and when if I was in that position, I would be in a position to do that same exact thing. Okay, well, I know this guy doesn't have all of the certs that we're looking for, but knowing them, we will be in a position to still put that guy in there so we can get the training. It's hard for black guys to get training, on the job training, because a lot of these kids, man, they living in these single parent homes. They don't have a lot of money. They may have the want to, they may have the drive, but they don't have the money to get these certs. They don't have, and the ones that do get that barely get the certs, they don't have a lot of opportunity to get the entry level jobs. So if we have enough of the black execs in the IT field, we will be in a position to start bringing more more of those guys on. Because I see it all the time. I see these white boys that come through all the time, have no experience with gas. It's one of the things that I tell, and I've been telling a lot of black guys to not do, is get these degrees and just stack your certs. That's the term that I always use: stack your certs, right? But I have two guys up under me right now, and they both got bachelors in computer science, and they don't know a goddamn thing. They don't know a goddamn thing. I don't have a bachelor's in computer science, but I know my knowledge and years of experience, it far outweighs them. So you're absolutely right. Getting in the, if we have more the black execs in the IT field, they will be in prime positions to start bringing across a lot of the younger black males. They may not have everything that they're looking for, but so long as they got some black execs backing them up, they can get their foot in the door. Right now, it's hard for black guys to even get their foot in the door. They have to be twice qualified to get, entry level positions. And see, once we're in that executive position, we do that same thing.
Yeah, that's what I've been saying for years. Because I'm probably sound like a broken record, but when I have these discussions with people on this topic, sometimes I can tell they're projecting. They're using their experience and projecting on children. They don't understand that what the competition that their children are going to be facing. They're only thinking about their experience.
Exactly.
Because we could talk about white supremacy and all that, but we got Asian, we got Arabs. On occasion, sometimes we got Africans, Indian. They don't like us either.
No, and they don't. And I've definitely had Indians up under me as well. And I can tell you, especially corporations, they are really, really trying to outsource, especially these desktop support type jobs, these mid-level positions in the IT field. They're really outsourcing a lot of those to the Indians.
Okay. And they prepare. But the thing is, the thing is, we're not. There's a reason why a lot of us
work for cheaper.
And there's a reason why a lot of us are not invited in their homes. People don't. I mean, some of us are, but a lot of us are not. And half the time, you got. I mean, the stuff that they show on TV, they do show us achieving. They show Oprah to Jordan, to Kobe, Obama. Ain't no Indian Obama.
No.
Ain't no Latino Jordan. Ain't none of that. So there's here. So now, okay, I can't get him in internet, but maybe I can get him in the workplace.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe if I'm some kind of boss or executive over my father's company, I know some black dude that look like Michael have very much envy about. I can disenfranchise him with a smile because I know he needs the job. People don't think about, but we are their competition. But this is stuff they don't read about. They don't admit it. You can see it in the action, all the way from when they're little. I mean, they can be 5, 6 years old, 10 or whatever. When they get older, they start understanding their purpose. We are the so for those people that keep saying that. Oh, can you hear me? Can you hear me?
Yeah, we lost you there for about 10 seconds. You went out for about 10 seconds.
Oh, I was saying that we are the competition. And the thing is that we're not preparing our sons for that. The fact. Think about this. The fact that we're saying to our children, you don't have to do this, you shouldn't do that, you shouldn't. That's like taking armor off of off a warrior's body.
Yeah.
You're supposed to stack your child with shields, swords, helmets, breastplates, all that kind of stuff. So when they do run out there, no matter what comes across, they're already prepared. The fact that someone is not educated, education is, the fact that your child is not educated because he was told that he didn't have to do it, he's gonna always come back. He's gonna always come back. Not, how can I say, not in a good condition that you thought he would be when he comes back home.
The soft
So
bigotry or low expectation.
yeah, yeah. Did you guys ever see the movie Not Easily Broken
No, I've never.
with Morris
No,
Chestnut and Taraji P Henson?
no, I can't recall that.
Yeah.
I
I don't
recommend
think I
that.
know
That's,
it
I
either.
mean, it's a TG Jakes movie, but it's not a typical TG Jakes movie. This one is more of a male advocacy movie, and it had a lot with Morris Chestnut being a mentor to boys doing baseball,
Oh
and it's
yeah,
very
yeah,
interesting.
yeah, yeah. And the wife got into an accident and she threw him out
Yes,
the house, and then
yes,
Taraji P. Henson ended up throwing the mama out the house because she wanted
yeah,
Morris Chestnut. Yeah,
yeah. That
okay.
was the
Now I know
best
what you're
part, by
talking
the
about.
way.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that was the
but
best part when she threw
I can't
mama out.
recall that one. I can't recall that. I'm not a TD
Yeah,
Jakes
I know.
fan, so
I had to think. I couldn't get the title. I couldn't connect the title to the movie, but I know exactly what movie
yeah.
you're talking about.
But remember the part when that dude's dad, I think it was Wood or something. I forgot. He played in Paid in Full. Skinny dude.
Uh-huh.
But he was a dude's dad, and the dad was very talented in baseball, but he made bad decisions.
Mm-hmm.
But his son wanted to be a baseball player in the future, and the dad discouraged him and said, "Wake up and stop dreaming."
Mm.
That was powerful, man. I was like, "Oh shit." And the boy was like, because the boy was looking up to Morris Chestnut because he was training him or whatever. But it was, I mean, anyhow, y'all need to see that because basically this is what our boys go through because they got these dreams and aspirations. They want to do different things. There's always someone that they listen to that would discourage them, and they can't shake it off as they get older.
Yeah. Well, I think that, because I look at myself, right? I grew up blue collar. I had a blue collar father. He was a landscape architect. He had a landscaping company, but I mean, I know landscaping. I mean, I can do landscaping because I did it with my father for years when I was a child, but I didn't go into that field. Um, I look at my sons, right? I look at my sons because my oldest son is an electrical engineer, right? He's doing what I thought I was going to do. And my youngest son is a carpenter. He's a master carpenter. So they're both in blue collar fields, but they're not in the field that the old man is. So I never really expected them to do what I do. Um, I prepared them. I always wanted them to be able to take care of themselves and things like that. Oh, I already sent I sent the link, brother Gabe. Hey, I sent it. Check your email. I didn't expect them to do what I do, but I did expect them to do something to keep me from having to take care of them for the rest of their damn lives. So, they they're in the blue collar field, but they're not doing what I'm doing. And likewise, I'm in the blue collar field, but I'm not doing what my old man is doing. So, I mean, I think oftentimes, especially with male children, they have a tendency to the best teacher for them, or should I say, the best teaching instrument for them is watching their old man do something. I think that's one of the best instruments for them to learn to be self-sufficient and work and have their own, no matter what they end up doing, you know, for a living or for a career, I think that it's always good for them to see their old man doing something, and their brains get trained. You know, their brains get trained to do something, even if it's not what their old man does. So,
Yeah.
Brother Gabe, hey, what's good with it, man?
Hey, how's it going? Hey.
What's up?
Hey. No, I was just jumping into the conversation. If you guys are going on something, I'll find a way to jump in. You guys go ahead.
Yeah, we were just talking about, you know, working and careers and, you know, all that kind of stuff, you know, sons and building. And because see me, I know me, I didn't want my sons to make the stupid damn decisions I made when I was a young guy. Cause I did a lot of stupid shit when I was younger, man.
You know
a lot of yeah, man, I did a lot of stupid stuff, man, made a lot of stupid decisions, man, and you know, did a lot of things that I shouldn't have done, and I probably wasted a lot of years of my life, you know, before I kind of figured out, you know, what I wanted to do and formulated a plan.
Yeah.
You know, because I didn't really start formulating a plan until I got to be like 30. You know, I mean, from like because I went to school and shoot, when I came back, I was like 18, 19. Shit, from 19 to 30, I was bullshitting.
Yeah, I had big dreams though, man. I had real big dream. I'm a Gen Xer, so hell, I grew up on Super Friends and Spider-Man. I want to have my own cartoon. I want to be a black ass Stan Lee. You know,
shit.
I think we all Gen Xers on here.
But the only problem was I wasn't guided in the right pathways. You know, so I had to take it upon myself to go through that and make the mistakes and discover what I should and shouldn't have done and all that kind of stuff. And that's where we falter, was that if I was taken in the right, because I had an art teacher, he used to put me in a corner. And just because he knew I was advanced compared to everybody else, so he just put me in a corner and just give me projects to do and everything. And when people come around and say, "What you doing?" and I get a crowd, and he say, "Hey, y'all, break it up, leave him alone," you know, that kind of thing. And that did blow my head up. By the way, it blew my head up. I'm like, "Oh, I'm the shit, all right," you know. Everybody was admiring me and stuff like that. But it's you know, I was pretty much groomed into the whole, okay, he can draw and all that. But when you're getting to that field, you have to know the right things. You have to know art history. You have to know aesthetics. You have to know conceptions, construction, all those different things before you even go to college.
Yeah.
So I found out the hard way. I'm sitting in art history. They're going around the room on critiques and all this kind of stuff, and I'm sitting there like, "Roo?" So I didn't even know how to comment, and so I just sound dumb when I spoke. So the average person would have been like, "F this, man, I'm leaving." But I stuck it around because I wanted to be in that field bad enough. And so that's what's going on with our children. We throw them in college, but we don't give them the proper pathway. So when they get in there, they can go ahead and knock it out rather than sitting there struggling like they never learned anything. I think that's our biggest mistake.
I think a lot of my experience was maybe a little bit different. While I was going to school, the majority of my family is in the medical field, like whether it's nursing or going to PA school or going to medical school. But I was like the only engineer. So just like your son, T.P.O.T, I went to school for electrical engineering. So that's what my bachelor's is in. But as I was going through like grade school and whatnot, I grew up in the city of Detroit, and pretty much all my teachers were women. And they just didn't see potential, right? Because, you know, you had those teachers that would recommend you for certain programs or certain scholastic things or certain competitions. Like, my teachers couldn't stand me.
They treat you like Malcolm X.
Oh, man. They like, I was like guilty of every crime, even of a student. Anything that a student could do that was wrong, I was like the antitypical or the representation of that, right? And it's just like they just never gave me opportunities, man. Like even the men at that time, I had one teacher, Mr. Moore. He always encouraged me, and I think that's that was the year I did the best. This was like third or fourth grade. I did the best in school because I had a lot of that support. But I had a lot of women teachers who would just like, you know, like I would be the one with my hand up and they would skip over me on purpose, right? Stuff like that. Stuff like that in class.
I definitely experienced that.
You know, and it's like they would skip over me because they didn't like me, right? Because they felt like I'm always, you know, answering questions, or they felt like I was challenging them when I'm just a 8, 9-year-old growing and in school really trying to learn. So, you know, I had a lot of those type of experiences.
Did you always know what you wanted to be, Brother Gabe? Did you always know what you wanted to be when you were a kid? Did you know?
No.
I know my ass didn't.
No.
I thought I did, but I didn't.
I didn't, and I didn't even know what it looked like, what my like career opportunities look like. So right now I'm working in cybersecurity as a consultant, but it's it's in more of an industrial environment. So that's where I get that engineering from. I still use a lot of my engineering background because, you know, I'm in like gas compressor stations and substations and nuclear plants and manufacturing environments, but I do cybersecurity in those environments. But no, I didn't know, because one, it didn't even exist. Like my job did not exist when I was going through school, and two, there was nobody doing any type of engineering in my family per se. Like they were just, like I said, medical, or all the men were like carpenters, right? They were carpenters or they worked with their hands in some case. So it was like me doing computer stuff or doing math stuff. It was always kind of like this, like in some way. So no, to answer your question, no, I had no idea.
Wow.
Yeah.
What about you, Perfect Black? And I'll ask Art too. I mean, well, I won't say, because it's hard to know what you want to be when you're a kid. But I guess you can have some idea, because I know, you know, we all want to grow up to be a Superman and the Incredible Hulk and all this kind of shit. But I mean, you know, as far as a life, did you know or have a good idea of what you wanted to be when you became an adult?
I know when I was a kid, I don't know what everyone else's experience is, but I know when I was a kid, I was almost discouraged to think about what I wanted to do as an adult, and it caused a lot. It caused me to be somewhat of a late bloomer in terms of career success and all of that type of stuff. But you know, when I graduated from high school, I had an idea what I wanted to do. Actually, I wanted to be a graphic designer, but I didn't even know what that meant. Only reason why I said that at that time is because I could draw. You know, I was pretty artistic and everything. But I was more athletic than artistic and all that. So I had more people wanting me to be more athletic. They wanted me to run track and all that type of stuff. So
that's all they want us to do, is be athletes. Exactly. That's why I couldn't stay. Yeah.
Right, and you're right, and that's I kind of want to, you know, kind of pick up what Art was saying, that in a lot of ways, some of the best of Black men are kind of funneled into, they find themselves being late bloomers in terms of career. You know, they don't really find themselves career-wise until they're in their 30s, mid-30s, and whatnot. You know, I'm 45. I'm a Gen X. I'm 45, and I'm in a very ascending career. But I was 30. You know, when I really started getting into the IT field, into where I started to really get my teeth into it. You know, and I wish that I was cultivated a lot younger, which is why I'm trying to cultivate a lot of these kids, a lot of these Black boys younger now, so they can get into it young. You know, but man, it wasn't. You know, it took me outside. You know, I graduated from high school and went to college on a track scholarship, and even then, you know, leaving St. Louis, man, I was still had that thick St. Louis accent, you know, with them hard long R's and all that type of stuff. And I was a misfit pretty much everywhere I went. And I went to the military, and I didn't do anything in IT in the Army. I spent 10 years in the Army, didn't do anything in IT. It was all weapons. That's all I did was weapons. And when I got out, I didn't do anything with weapons. They wanted me to do one. I got heavily recruited to be a police officer. I didn't want to be a police officer, and I just didn't want to be. I didn't want to have anything to do with law enforcement. So so it didn't take it. It took me some time to really to find myself career wise, and I think that's a shame because a lot of black men, they waste a lot of years, a lot of their productive years, finding themselves. And I think I'm just fortunate to the fact that I have a lot of energy, to where I can really still spend a lot of times, a lot of hours in a day and all that in a career and all that. There are a lot of men in prison right now who were funneled the same way that I was, that just didn't they weren't just and they just weren't as fortunate. My brothers won, and so to answer your question, brothers, no, I didn't know what I wanted to do. At least, I put it. I didn't have a good grasp on what I wanted to do until I was outside of the military. And I spent 10 years in the army, got out in 2004. I didn't have a really good grasp of what I wanted to do. So, and it took some trial and error, and spending time in college, studying law and all that, then finding out, okay, and came over to Chicago. Well, that ain't gonna work. So it took some time, and for me, I think that's a shame because you have a lot of guys, you have a lot of black men. I would think probably most black men that's in career, they probably spend a lot of years kind of floundering in one aspect or another, with no one to look to for guidance, no one to look to for any type of advice, to give the best advice and whatnot. I got some terrible advice in high school. Terrible. I got some terrible advice in high school. I was good in football, but I got some terrible advice. I got terrible advice even when I took the track scholarship. I got terrible advice.
Man, I be getting terrible advice from the manosphere.
What's that?
No, I'm just joking. I said I get terrible advice from the manosphere.
Well, it depends on what corner of the black man it is. What corner of the black man, because I do support the black man. It just depends on what corner of the black man. But you're right though. But I got terrible advice, man, and it took me a minute to really recover from that. But once I really focused in on what I wanted to do, what I was good at, when I recognized, okay, this is what I'm good at, and I started. I had to study on my own, and I started to nurture it myself, and I've been pretty successful in it. And that goes not only for IT but also mentoring in the community. Coaching football and mentoring black boys through the football. That it's not a small thing when you have the ability to shape the minds of young black males. That's not a small thing. You become a really dangerous person when you can do that. Okay, so but brother, it took me a minute, man. I didn't come out of high school. And then I barely came out of the military. I didn't come out of the military, knowing what it is that I wanted to do. It took me a minute, So I guess I'm more of a late bloomer when it comes to career. I'm a late bloomer with that.
Yeah, me too, brother Art. But you were a natural artist, though, right, brother Art? You were a natural artist before you got schooled, right? You were a natural artist.
Yeah, but there's a difference between being self-taught and being academically taught.
Mm-hmm.
That's the thing, and as a matter of fact, it goes for almost all fields. You have to, you have to actually learn what's going on in the industry. You got to learn how to talk to the people. You got to learn about places where you could be working. The only thing that you're thinking about is I'm good at what I do. That's not good enough.
That's a lot of our mentality, isn't it? That's a lot of our mentality. Is that I'm good at this, or I can do this better than somebody that's in the field, rather than having the accolades to back it up.
And then when you put your resume in, the person that's looking at your resume, they're very jealous of Michael Jordan. I'm just gonna say that. They're looking at it like, oh, he must be. Because I even, matter of fact, I used to work for a fashion company out in downtown Los Angeles. We did like Disney clothing. We did Warner Brothers, Six Flags, Nautica. I didn't get on that account. And there was this golf thing that they had me work on personally. But They had me look at resumes. This is why I say what I say. This is one of the reasons why I say what I say. They said, look at the resume. It was like a big stack. It said when separate the resumes from the people that have university degrees, the versus people that have certificates and AA degrees. So I separated them. So the university degree was kind of small, that stack, like maybe 30 or so. But the ones with the AA and certifications, we're looking at probably about 100 something people, right? And so I gave it to my boss. She said, "You done?" She said, "Which one is the university degrees?" I said, "This one." She said, "Which one's AA?" She said, "This AA one?" I said, "Yeah." And she threw that one in the trash.
Listen, we still do it. We still
do, yeah.
As many as there are, like so many brothers that are talking about, oh, forget degrees. Degrees are a scam. It's still used as a measuring stick for hiring opportunity and for job opportunities. So I don't know why we love to buck against that. But
the reason why I think they buck against it because they are projecting.
Yeah, because they don't have that. Yeah.
Right. It's almost like if I can't make it, you can't either, that kind of thing. Or if I had to get on my hustle, you should get on my hustle, your hustle.
Right.
And I'm like, my whole thing is this. If I didn't make it and college is not for me, I would take it as the silent generation approach, the ones that were sharecroppers and all that. Mm-hmm. Could you imagine if they had that mentality? Well, shit, if we picking cotton, you might as well pick cotton too.
Right.
They didn't do that. They went on and picked cotton. They took the worst from this white man to put the boomers through college.
Yeah.
Because they knew education was the key to certain areas that they needed to go, whether it's medical or whatever else. So, I mean, I listen, and I hear people going, and I'm like, man, I wish I could give you this pacifier, this bottle to make you feel better. But we're talking about the future of our children here. It ain't about your personal issue.
Absolutely, because it's like it's not that anybody is saying that you aren't as good because you don't have the same accolades. It's just that in the job market for certain fields, right, in STEM and other fields, you're just not as attractive to a potential employer. You're not. I mean, and there's no shade towards you. You're just not as attractive if you don't have certain accolades. And it's less of saying like, well, I could do it without that. But it's more saying, how can I do this, right? What are the requirements? Rather than saying that I don't need that type of thing.
It's funny too, man. It kind of reminds me, and I'm not throwing shade on anybody, but it kind of reminds me.
Throw it.
It reminds me of the ugly chick that keeps saying, "Don't be trying to talk to me."
Yeah.
And I'm like, I didn't even say nothing to you. meaning that, where you because put it this way, man, for most people that have some kind of intelligentsia, we know that college is mainly for the most part, doctors, lawyers, engineers, that kind of, we ain't trying to get nobody that's trying to go to, doing the barber stuff or the mechanics or the plumbing, because that's a whole different ball game. So we're not saying, hey, you need to go to college for plumbing. We need to go to college for culinary arts.
Right.
That's nobody's doing on that. So, but for some reason, people were so defensive. It's like, no, we're trying to get somebody to get the degree to make sure that you get your accounts.
Yeah.
So if you do culinary, you have somebody that owns these hotels to bring your ass in, so you can always have some money coming in.
Yeah. Yeah. And it's like a lot of times when I like kind of approach, places in this space, I've gotten that you think you better than me type of thing, or you think that your life is perfect type of thing, or you kind of hold certain things over. Like, it's like, that's not the thing. This is saying that, hey, like, I'm coming to a space of brothers where I'm saying that all types of brothers should be able to be accepted, even those with different levels of academic success or career success. Why do I make you feel a certain type of way? Because I'm expressing where I'm at in my life, right? Should that be an offense? Or do you think I'm saying it to try to
well, they're telling you. They're telling you, Brother Gabe, what it is. Because when they say, oh, you think you're better than me, what they're really saying is they think you're better than them.
Yeah.
That's what they're saying.
Yeah.
They think it has nothing to do with you. It's them.
Well, I've gotten that a lot right there. Well, I've gotten that a lot.
And I'm like, brother, like we should be like, yo, because I'm just in my early 30s, right? I'm 32. But I think that like so much, not only in my family, but even in many places in this space, it's less encouraged. It's less of, brother, wow, like that's great what you're doing, like keep on doing that. But it's more of like trying to pick apart everything. Like, how'd you get there? Did you know somebody? Oh, your parents must have some money. Oh, you must be in a whole bunch of debt. Oh, you must be this or must like they have to try to find some chink in the armor in order to explain away your success.
I'm gonna tell
Right?
you straight up, man. I'm gonna tell you straight up because me and X are Gen Xers. Oh, and PB as well.
Yeah.
I mean, it's one thing. Okay, you got your degree and everything. It's one thing that your family and your friends cool, but that OG that did a lot of bullshit, but every now and then he looks out for the youngins.
Yeah.
He said, "Damn, you's a college nigga now.
Yep.
Look at you, boy. Look at you. Let me know what you need, man. But go ahead, keep up the good work." We had OGs looking out like that,
and they won't, and they would never let you get into no bullshit either.
Right?
Let me tell you where I get the pushback
never
from.
let you. If they knew that you were on the right trajectory, even the game bangers wouldn't even let you mess around doing nothing bad. They would.
Word will out. Yeah, you don't know.
I get the pushback from people my same generation or my same age, or people slightly older than me, like those younger Gen Xers. That's where I get the pushback from. But dudes that are older, like the boomers or even younger, like I don't get any issues there. But I don't know.
Yeah, well, you shouldn't have to apologize.
No, not at all.
Because you're doing something for yourself, and that's what people will try to make you do. I mean, because I get that shit.
Yeah.
You know, I get that shit from people I know that I went to school with, that I grew up with. You know, they're like, "Oh man, you know," I've had people tell me this shit in my real life and on the internet. They're like, "Oh, X, the only reason why you got a shop because the white man let you do it."
Only reason.
You know, they tell me that shit.
Wow.
I'm like, are you out of your mind? I built this shit from nothing. The white man don't have anything to do with it.
Yeah.
But like you said, brother Gabe, they will try to explain away the fact that you aren't out there doing bullshit. You're actually building a life for your family. Like, I shouldn't have to apologize because, you know, I like working for a living. I shouldn't have to apologize because, I mean, I live a decent life. You know, I can provide for my wife and my grandchildren. Why should I have to freaking apologize for that, man? That's stupid.
Yeah.
I'm telling you,
I mean, there's been one conversation here where we were kind of talking about those degrees versus self-training. There's nothing wrong with either one of those fields. But I was saying like, hey, you know, there are opportunities that you will be exposed to if you have a degree in comparison to if you don't have one. You might not get that shot. And this other brother was like, well, I don't have a degree and I'm getting the bag. I'm like, well, that's cool. But there's like, you know, different types of bags, right? When you kind of go up in managerial roles and whatnot, a lot of people have MBAs plus. And he said, well, you married. So pretty much like, you know, she taking so she taking the money from you type of thing. And I'm like,
you handing that check over.
I'm like, brother, what you don't realize that my wife's bag is probably bigger than your bag. So you know, I had to give us some pushback there. Like I had to try to come back a little bit. Had to go down a little bit into the fray, but the overall idea is that whole thing about explaining away your success and trying to find some chink in your armor so that they can, I don't know, try to find some supreme way or some way to put themselves above you. You know?
It's misery loves company, fam.
Yeah,
you know,
absolutely.
And the thing. Oh, go ahead, fam.
And they want to make it seem, and we've been joined by my brother Info Man. I want to get to him next.
Info Man, I couldn't even see him.
It's almost like people want to make it seem like, I don't know, you didn't put in no work to do what you're doing.
Yeah.
I mean, I hate when people say that shit to me, man, because they have no fucking idea how hard it was for me to do the shit that I'm doing right now.
In the beginning, imagine the beginning.
Man, you have no idea. Shit almost went bankrupt. My shit almost sunk. In the first 2 years, I was taking money from other sources, putting it into my business just to keep the shit afloat. So, I mean, no one came and handed me shit. So when people talk that nonsense, it's like, man, you just need to shut up, boy, because you don't know what kind of blood, sweat, tears, years of hard work, sacrifice, driving an old jalopy car because you don't want to buy another car because you're taking this money and you investing it in your business and shit. Like, man, you have no idea. No one handed me this shit. Are you kidding me?
See,
shit.
Because people. I'm sorry. This is one thing. This is one thing that really bothers me about this whole apologizing for success. Apologizing for your success. I don't know any successful person on the planet who hasn't failed. You can't be successful without failing. You're going to fail. That's the bottom line. There is no other way to. There's no other way around that. Unless you were born with a silver spoon up your mouth and up your ass, you're going to fail. Okay, so when people are looking at someone else's success and they thinking that they and want to make them apologize, that's because they have no idea what it takes to be successful in life. Period. Be it career, financial, whatever. They have no idea what it takes. You're going to fail. You're going to get your bumps and bruises. You're going to learn. You're going to get taken advantage of. Somebody's going to take you. They're going to beat you. They're going to get you. That's just the bottom line, man. You're going to fail. And if you're afraid to fail, then stay where you at in the project.
But isn't that the narrative about how we talk about women?
What's that?
A lot of these, isn't that the same narrative how we talk about women, that a lot of these guys are not admitting that they're afraid of the word no?
And boy, you see, I was headed to that area because I would guarantee you that a lot of these people who are making brothers apologize for their success is probably some of these black women. But that's just me. That's just me.
See, what it is people see the end. They don't see all the shit you put into it, man. Every brother up here,
failures along the way.
Yeah, every brother up here lives a decent life and take care of their kids and responsibilities, house and shit like that. And people just see that. They don't see the 5, 10, 15 years. They don't see all of that shit. They just see the end. They see the car you drive. They see the house you live in. They see that shit. They don't see all the shit that came before that, man. And I think that's the problem. But we've been joined by my brother.
On that note, real quick, before Info get in, on that note, I just want everybody to think about this. They're always, and I know Infoman has a lot to say about this too, because we're all in that same generation. Remember Cosby Show. Every time Cosby Show come up, oh, that ain't no real life. That's make believe. They just trying to emulate a bunch of bougie Negroes. But the sitcom only shows when they have all the children. They did not show the part when they only had the 2 daughters. They didn't show the part before Theo. They didn't show the part where they had to go to school and go through all these different, practices and stuff like that.
Medical school, law school, interning, residency. They didn't show any of that.
So nobody thinks about that part.
At its height. They took that show down when it was the top show. And
right. But I just wanted to put that in your mind because I was like, okay, think about that.
Yeah, they don't see you working the bullshit job, just so you can have a little put around car, or that kind of shit, man. People don't see that kind of stuff. But we've been joined by my brother Info. What's good with it, man?
What's up, everybody?
What's going on, brother?
I wanted to ask you, first of all, was Jay Shine supposed to be on tonight with you?
Yeah, but he hit me up a few hours ago, and he had an emergency, man. So we gonna have to link up.
I'm supposed to get with him and do an interview with him on my program. I don't know if I can do it this weekend. I told him Sunday, but I hope everything's okay with him. I'll send him an email, see if he's okay. When you have emergency, you never know what's going on. But
he had a family emergency. So
Brother X, you got to realize people who behave towards any black man that's successful, you're looking at or listening to or hearing a person who doesn't know what success is because they've never put the work in. The kind of brothers that I've been around, and for all of us on this panel, if you're around brothers that have sacrifice, it's about sacrifice. Anything that's worth having, it does come with a certain sacrifice that you must sacrifice of your time, your energy. Most brothers that have gone through either a trade school program, college, something in which you are challenged to overcome that goal, to attain that goal. Most brothers that have gone through some type of trial, some kind of system like that, don't tend to hate on other brothers and their success because they recognize what you went through to get that success as a brother because they went down that same road you went down, even if it's a different profession, a different training, a different skill or license or certification. So most people who talk that way are people who have never endeavored in anything of that nature. And then you have this term I like to say, we got some of our people that are actually have fear of success. They fear the idea of success because that means they have to put in work, and not all of our people want to put in work. Okay, everyone wants to. We live in an instant popcorn world. Put it in the machine and boom, bing. I want
Microwave
it now.
society.
Microwave society. Thank you, brother. So that kind of mentality is a mentality that can't respect the hard work and the things that you've gone through. Okay, to get what you've gotten. And so to me, growing up, and someone said this on the panel that I had to agree with, I grew up in that kind of neighborhood where you had the barber, you had the old men in the garage playing cards and checkers and chess, drinking Johnny Walker Red that were watching you when you was out there playing as a kid. The community was raising you. You had the bum on the street that would be like, boy, what you not doing in school? You want to be like me? You had the pimps. I've been around them. You had the pimps and the hustlers that would say, just like in that movie, The Mac, go to school, be a lawyer, a doctor, be anything. Don't be like me. I grew up around those type of black men that were out there hustling who didn't want that kind of lifestyle for the kids in the neighborhood. But that was a different time, Brother X and everybody, because why? Black people were more on code. You know, I'm talking about early 80s, late 70s when I was a little kid running out there. It was a different. But it was just a different attitude now. So any black man or any person who comes at you sideways in that manner of your success, something's wrong with them. Get them the hell out of your way. Get them out of your we can't have it both ways, gentlemen. We can't on the one side come on YouTube or any platform and talk about how we need to strive for the best. And then when you have black men and young men trying to strive for the best, now we want to shame them and say, you know the word, you're being elitist now. See, I got a problem with black people who do that. What do you want us to do? You want us to strive to be the best? Or do you not want us to try to be the best? And then when we try to be the best, now we're labeled a elitist.
But Brother Info, you're forgetting something. When you strive for success and work hard, you know, and have some shit and take care of your family, you're living the white man's standard. That's the white man's standard.
Just like when you were growing up, and if you could speak the king's language, right? If you could speak proper English, right? Then you were called, you're being a white boy. Look, I can talk proper English. I can talk Ebonics. I can talk trash talk, street talk. I can talk all kind of ways. And people tend to talk a certain way based on what? The environment that they're in. If I go to the barbershop, for example, and I love going to the barbershop, nothing like going to the barbershop. I don't talk in the barbershop the way I may talk in my professional environment at work. No, I can't talk like that at work. But when I'm around my own people, I'm going to be a little bit more relaxed. I'm not at work. There's no rules, nothing to box me in. And I can freely speak my mind. That's what's great about the barbershop. We can talk many different languages. Black people are multi-language.
Yeah, but, you know, like I said, you know, if you're a person who, you know, because I know people, right? I know people that I grew up with, and trust me, I didn't grow up rich. You know, my parents weren't rich. You know, I lived a regular life. You know, right. I just was a fortunate brother. Right. I was a fortunate brother, and I had my father in my life. Mm-hmm. So my father, you know, he had his own business. So I learned about work and working hard and having a work ethic. I learned about that shit really, really young.
I learned I learned that same thing, Brother X, in the community
really young, man.
in which men who I grew up in that community in which the men raised the young men, the father, all the men, and I learned the examples of hard work. You know, I remember going out with there was a older black man that I really admired. He was a painter. And I had a little job making a little money under the table, and he had me go out and help him paint. And he gave me a little money. Then I worked at a shoe store that was owned by a black man in the Fillmore area of San Francisco, and he would give me money under the table. So I learned a work ethic when I was 11, 12, 10 years old, a whole 9 yard, because there were black men to set the example. See, but if my only example was the pimps and the hustlers, and that's all I got, then there's a chance that I could have made a bad decision. Because most of the guys that I deal with in my job, most of them, we could all be where they are if it was not for a bad decision that they made, or a lifestyle that they were born into that they had no choice. Some of these guys are born into the gangs because their families have lineage in it, right? In some cases. So your circumstances that you're born into can play a role, the choices that you make, and the people that come into your life that can be a negative or a positive influence in your life. And I'm just a kid. I'm just a dude that just happened to go to school, got some scholarship money, went into a profession, and I focused on that, and I made something of my life. I don't think I'm better than anybody who doesn't have a college degree, a master's degree. No. Hell, you can actually make more money being a goddamn plumber, skilled trades, right? So I don't spend a lot of time looking down on other brothers, whether they went to school or not. I judge you by, well, what are you trying to do, right? So that's how I look at it. You know, if a brother's ratchet and he's not doing nothing with his life, and he's, you know, and if I can't talk to a brother and say, hey, have you tried checking out this program? And if he's open to that, then that's great. If he's not open to that, then I know where that brother is, where his mind is at. So I'm going to end there, but good to see you guys on here.
Yeah, welcome. Yeah, it's always a pleasure to be on the same panel with Infoman. I'm gonna blow his head up, man. He's the reason why he gave me my start. So that was Information Man. He's right here on the same panel with me. So
well, Info, I'm gonna tell y'all a little secret about Info. The first time I ever saw Info, man, and I'm gonna try not to embarrass him, but I need to tell his truth right here, as he will plug or tell the truth. The first time I ever seen Brother Info was back when Brother ODJ used to do the Rumbles. And he was up there, man, and I mean, he was getting it in. You know, he was dropping jewels, and then somebody fucked around and said something that he didn't like. And boy, he went in because he was dropping jewels, and I was listening. I was like, damn, I like this dude. And then he switched like 1, 2, 3. Somebody said some bullshit to him, and boy, he went in. And I said, you know what? I gotta check this brother's channel out, man. And I went down to his channel. I was like, damn, this dude does good shit, and he'll go in at the same time. And I have been subscribed to Brother Info, man, ever since that freaking day, man. I was like, this brother here, I like this brother, man. Yeah, because not only do he drop that good info, he'll go in on you too, man. You fuck with him. So, you know, he'll go Jekyll and Hyde on you, boy.
Yeah, I can't get a little Jekyll and Hyde sometimes, but you know, it's all in good fun. You know, I think we all are passionate on these platforms. And let's be honest, I've said this before, Brother X, you've heard me say this before. I think for a lot of us, being able to come on these platforms allow us to speak our mind as black men, because we live in a world where we're not always in environments where we can really say what we want to say. And a lot of times this affords us the ability to get something off of our chest. And that's therapy. I mean, it is a therapy. I got to be honest.
Yeah,
it is the barbershop.
Yeah, that was the thing. Because he gave me a lot of I guess he gave me a lot of confidence because we're both from the Pan-Atlantic Council or National Pan-Atlantic Council. And I was like, okay, well, you know, maybe I can contribute something and blah, 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 blah. And I went in so many different directions. But The other part too, that just to build off of what Infoman said about people with not without degrees. The thing that we have to understand is that everything has its own category. You know, because you got people that is rich without degrees, right? So mainly that's just something to where I always look at degrees as something that is expansive that you can touch somebody with.
Right. And you know, most of the computer guys like Bill Gates and what's the guy that ran Apple? You know, most of those guys, they dropped out of Stanford.
Right.
You know, Bill Gates didn't complete Stanford. I think the other Steve Jobs, I think both of them dropped out of school because they saw how lucrative the computer age was going to be for them. And who would have known that it would be what it became?
And the point I was making was that my mother, you know, my mom is like was like the Marvin Collins of Carson. My mom, you know, she was an educator. Even if a person didn't have a degree, she always found something that somebody was able to teach. She always tried to make a teacher out of somebody. Like if you had your own rib shack, she would put you in a program to teach kids how to bake ribs. You know,
wow.
You know, stuff like that. You know, so I'm like, everybody has something, everybody has a gift. You know what I'm saying? It's just that, you know, I think we just have to surround ourselves with more like-minded and positive people. You know, everybody has something. I don't care what you have or don't have.
My position, whether it be on YouTube or off of the cyberspace, is that if there's a black man in particular that's doing well, even if the brother's doing better than me, come on, we have to be honest. There are people that are doing better than you, but I don't look at it as he's a mother, this and that. I'm just saying, okay, this brother is successful. What that lets you know when you see other successful brothers, whatever success is to you, too, by the way, because success comes in many ways. You could be, your success could be the fact that you have a beautiful family and your kids are doing well, right?
That's definitely success.
Yeah, that's definitely success. It doesn't always mean money, you know, but money is important too. But my attitude is, if that brother is doing very well, that lets me know that there's a possibility with work, because people don't want to do that word called work, that I could get to where that individual is.
Yep.
You see?
You know, you're absolutely right, Info. And I know with me, I've never been one to you know, to I don't know, talk down on degree people because I have a degree myself. But I can tell you, I've made no money in my degree. I've made zero money in my degree. I've made all my money in my certs. And in the IT field, yeah, them certs are going to take you a long way, especially when you start to stack them. You know, you get more than, you know, you get 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5, and you got years of experience in. Yeah, them degrees is not going to really outweigh that, especially from some, you know, a young guy coming fresh out of college with his bachelor's degree. It ain't going to mean no good. But see, but that also, that takes work. You know, like I said.
But look at it this way, though, brother. There's a lot of people who go to school and don't use their actual degree. I'm lucky. I'm one of those that I'm actually using what I went to school to study. However, whatever you go into, the fact going is this is how sometimes we miss looking at it this way. It's not really the degree, it's what the discipline of what school can prepare you for. The discipline of getting assignments done. The discipline of getting your ass up in the morning and getting to class. And then the discipline of studying, learning, researching, understanding how to put the proper quotes in there and citing your sources. That skill set of going to school and taking those classes and being challenged by teachers and professors, that can translate to any other thing you go into life. Just like they say when you play like a sport like football, that football is life, that kids can learn something from playing sports that they can carry into their life. So you're successful with what you're doing, brother. not even if you're not using what you went to school for, but what you studied in school in terms of your preparation is helping you in what you're doing now.
You know, the key to what you just said about preparation, that's where I think a lot of black boys, that's one area. That's one key area where a lot of black boys are being prepared outside of sports. They're not being prepared for work, whatever it is that they will out for, you know, whatever it is. They're not being prepared. Because most of the kids
You're fading in and out, Perfect Black. You're fading in and out a little bit, brother.
Oh, my fault. I'm on. Can you hear me? Can everybody hear me first?
I got you now. Yeah, you're good now. Go ahead.
Oh, okay. And you know, but one of the things that one of the points that I make with a lot of these boys is that what point is it for you to go to college if you're not used to getting up at a regular time to get yourself to class? If you need your mother to get you up all the time to tie your doggone shoes and make your lunch, you're not going to be good. You're going to be no good to yourself in college. You haven't had the requisite preparation to then be in college to get yourself up to class. When you to right to get you that syllabus, and that's all he's going. That's all pretty much all the shit for that whole semester. And it's up to you.
You're fading in and out on us again, man. You're fading in and out. We like
hearing he's transforming into another human being or something.
Yeah, we're hearing like every other word.
Oh man, I don't know why. But
you sound like the starfish guy on the starfish tuna commercial.
All right, I'm gonna drop down. I'm gonna drop down and come back up.
Only
Sorry,
Art would
Charlie.
come up with that.
So let me piggyback on PB.
I don't know what it is.
Let me piggyback on PB a little bit. You know, because I've been teaching college for, I don't even want to say the number. It's been a minute, but I would always find that the most, how can I say, probably the most successful, or the ones that are pretty much in that perfect spot, would be the street dudes as college students. Street people, or whatever came from the street hood, whatever you call it, they make the best college students. You know,
now,
and let me finish. Y'all love cutting up Art, bro. Why you always do that? Everybody. Anyhow, the reason why I'm saying that is because, you know, there was a lot of instinctive training they had to go through as they were growing up. And then, you know, anyone that went to college knows that you need some kind of instincts while you're doing your academics. They already come with that. And the thing is, once they get there and once they're focused, it's like what do you call it? It's like it's like a smorgasbord of things that they could just do and have fun with rather than sitting there struggling. You know, I always found that, because at first they come in looking all like, you know, like they don't have a care in the world, a lot of stuff happening, blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, this dude ain't gonna pass my class. You know, because I can tell all of a sudden I'm looking at my papers. He's doing good ass presentations. He's a little clownish, but he's like taking care of business. And I'm like, you know, because the thing is, people like him. You know, people sort of have that whole, you know, I like the image thing, whatever. They for some reason, if they come in focused and they from whatever situation they're from, usually they do pretty well. That's my experience that I have with you know, those particular college students.
All right.
Can everybody hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you, brother.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, you good.
I was finna say, man, I was getting ready to give Xfinity a call because I pay for the top doggone thing.
Yeah, they be tripping, brother.
That's that COVID wireless, huh?
Right. All right.
Well, shit, they can't be worse than goddamn Spectrum, man. And damn Spectrum, they got where I live at.
Where they got that? Oh man,
I'm glad you told me that.
And they have this corner market, because I was gonna get, you know, I was gonna get the AT&T or try to get the Fios, and guess what? I can't even get it in this area. It's a Spectrum or nothing. It's Spectrum or nothing.
Yeah,
So
AT&T
I see
Are
is
they?
good.
Do you know if Spectrum is are they feeding fiber to your, not to your house, but out in the pipes on the street?
Well, I was when I first started. I was doing the Wi-Fi, but now I got a hard line.
Yeah,
All
don't
right, I got a
stream
hard
on
line now.
Wi-Fi. Don't stream
Yeah,
on
No,
yeah,
don't
Wi-Fi.
ever do that.
yeah,
Don't ever do that.
yeah. Yeah, I got a hard line now, so I haven't had, I haven't had any problems, knock on wood, since the hard line. I got a hard line that runs, directly, into my workstation. So I haven't had the problems. But every now and then, like if it like rains or something like that, shit just goes out. I mean, it just out, and that should be out for hours.
Well,
Yes.
And it
the reason why I asked that, because some carriers, I can say like AT&T, here in Chicago, at least the area where I'm at, they don't have fiber. They can give you some internet service, but it's not going to be as fast. So that's the reason why I had to go with Comcast or Xfinity, because they're feeding through fiber. At least not in this area for AT&T. That was the reason why I was
Right.
asking that, because whoever your carrier is, and you want to find out if they got fiber, it's going to be the connection is going to be a lot more consistent and a lot more better. That's why I was saying, if you guys are hearing me choppy, it better not be, because because they ain't gonna get a call from me, and I'm going to want to know why I'm paying all this money and it's going to be choppy.
Right.
I
Right.
thought
They
you were
just
gonna sing
did.
Aqua Boogie earlier, man, but it's all good.
No,
He
no,
said,
it's the evil empire. I have to go before the internet, and I have to go with the evil empire. Now
Aqua
they're mad
Boogie
that I
was
don't
it.
go with my TV when it comes to that. I'm not dealing with doing my TV or my phone. But when it comes to the internet, I had to go to the evil empire. I
Right.
just had to.
If you
you want
can, for those out there who stream, if you can go with a hard line,
Yeah.
definitely go with a hard line. Even you can get and if you even if where you have your computer set up is kind of far away from your connection, just go out to like Home Depot or somewhere and get you a long cord where you can put it into the main and take that long cord and stick it in your computer, because you're gonna get a better quality. Let me
make sure that but you also want to make sure that your computer has enough RAM as well.
Right.
Because
Let me hip
you can
y'all to
have all
something
that. If
good.
your computer don't have enough RAM, you still gonna be choppy.
Right.
Yep.
For those of you that are content creators, let me hip you to it's a white dude and a white chick, but they are excellent. They're called live streaming pros, and they give you everything you need to know about how to make your streams as best and crisp as possible. Matter of fact, if you go into the new YouTube studio, if you're pumping out 1080p, for example, there's stuff that you can go into your new YouTube studio and change the bit rates to balance out with everything that your streaming software is using. If you're using a separate streaming software, of course, with StreamYards, one of the reasons why you get problems with StreamYards, because StreamYards is what do you call it? It's a what do you call that? It's a base. God, I just forgot that word. It's not a separate software that you have to download to your system or pay, download. It's off the browser. It's a browser. That's right. It's a browser-based streaming system, which is why you're gonna have some problems sometimes. But the white boys that created this, every Sunday on the StreamYard channel, if you go over there, they're always telling you what's the new updates of improvements for the system. There's things that you may not be aware of. You can actually move right now, brother X. I don't know if you noticed, you can actually move people around on your screen. You can actually enlarge them while minimizing yourself. There's all these bells and whistles.
I know all that.
You can
play around with it.
You can record your streams and you can record the audio and make a podcast out of it. So they give you a lot of good tips.
Yeah, I mean, StreamYard was I've never really had too many problems with it. See, we got another house, and when I first started in this house, I was right where the modem was.
Damn, you were lucky.
So what I did is I eventually moved where I operate from, and where I operate from was way on the other side of the house. So I was doing it with the Wi-Fi for a little while, and that was just a bad idea. So I went ahead and I was able to go ahead and get a hard line and, have it installed and ran from the modem, because I didn't want a wire running all the way up my goddamn hole, 200 feet.
Yeah.
I didn't want that shit.
Yeah.
So I had it hooked up where, it runs along, outside, and then comes, around the house and over the windows and all kind of bullshit. And then it comes through the thing. Yeah, because where the modem is, it's way on the other side of the house. Whoa. So, you have to hook it up and, run it and do the connections and all that kind of bullshit. So I finally had that done, and I haven't had any problems since.
Mm-hmm.
So, I mean, not like I said, knock on wood and shit. And plus because I was talking to Brother Perfect Black a while back, because I was having problems with my computer.
Mm-hmm.
And, I sent him the specs of my other computer.
Yes.
And he told me, he was like, X, you need more RAM, you need more this. So what I did, I just went out and bought another computer. I went and bought a bigger computer, well, a better computer, a new computer with like 16 gigs of RAM.
Right.
I just went and bought other shit, man, because I was just tired of it. I didn't want to deal with it no more.
What I did, this is my recommendation. This sounds like you got a good computer too. If you're streaming on YouTube and you're doing things like green screening and all this special effects type stuff, you know what you really should be getting? You should be buying a gaming computer. Because the gaming computer has all this other shit in it for graphics.
It's got a lot of rendering on it to where you can do a lot of stuff to process a lot of the it has a lot of processing power than just using the processor on your motherboard. I got one more suggestion, but go ahead, Infoman.
No, man. You're spot on it. It just, so I got a gaming system, and what I'm getting out of it is like, wow.
Oh, it's a custom build. Go ahead.
Go ahead, brother. I want to hear what you got to say.
Custom build. I got a basic, almost like a server here, man. This is a beast that I have here. So I have like 64 gigs.
You're borking again, unfortunately.
Yeah, you see, I don't think I can hear me.
Yeah,
in and out.
But you're borking.
Every other word.
Yeah.
Every other word.
Unfortunately, something's going on with your connection.
I'm going to make one suggestion. If you guys can hear me, one suggestion that I get that I would suggest you guys do is get a repeater or even two repeaters on, to where you can be behind, because these ISPs, they do a lot of throttle. They tell you that they don't throttle, but they do throttle. Yes, they do. I've seen the proof of it. I've seen the stats on it. I got stuff in my own right now that is show the stats that that's exactly what they're doing. You get a couple repeaters on there, that'll keep your flow, especially if you're doing a lot of streaming, Netflix and all that type of stuff. It keeps them from it makes it harder for them to do it. So, but I shouldn't be borging. I shouldn't, because this is a really good day, but that's cool. I know what it's
maybe
about.
There's interference in your air. Sometimes that happens. It could be some interference in the system. Who knows? But man, hey, this is what I wanted to, before I get off. Art, are you still there?
Yeah, I'm here.
Yeah, when you were talking, I didn't mean to try to cut you off. I
was just playing with you.
I was just actually agreeing with what you said, but you said something powerful that brought me back to my college days. And me and you could relate to what I'm saying. Most of the cats that came through the frat came from the streets of Oakland, San Jose, the Fillmore, and San Francisco. Most of the dudes that we brought into the chapters over the years were ride or die type cats. And they got into school. A lot of these guys became very successful in their fields of their occupations. And they were very loyal brothers.
Yeah,
because most of the where I went to San Francisco State, so that was in the city, and a lot of people would commute over from Oakland, Oaktown, and all over the Bay Area, and a lot of the cats that we were bringing through the organization, they were street brothers that just happened to that just got an opportunity to go to school, intelligent brothers. So that's why you'll never really see me, and I don't particularly prefer to talk down on brothers that come from these communities because you don't know what their aspirations, what they're doing. I'm dealing with a brother right now where I'm at, Art, who he's doing heavy time in prison, right? And every week when I do groups, I have him he's doing writing. He's a writer. His writing is incredible. If he was not in the damn pen, he could be a famous writer. I mean, his writing is off the charts. And he's going to get out. He's a young guy. He's got a couple more years to go. But I told him, I said, man, you need to be the next goddamn great thing.
Yeah, man. Yeah, I mean, same thing, because, you know, I have that Nation of Islam background, you know, so I'm always seeing somebody from the streets all of a sudden becoming like, you know, like a damn Yale professor. You know, so I'm always seeing that transition. So that's why I don't like throwing the baby out with the bathwater. You know,
Yes,
I would
sir.
just, the only thing I don't like is when people like to try to stay in it as though this is the way to go. And I'm like, nah, man. I mean, if I see you trying to do something to improve and do something better and grow up and get better and whatever it is, I see that. But you know, you'd be like, man, I'm selling these rocks, man, so I can, you know, buy me a studio. You know, stuff like that. I'm like, I don't know, man, because people probably listening to your phone calls and all kinds of, they're gonna get you, dude.
I
You
gotta
know?
flip these bricks because being broke drives me insane.
Yeah, exactly. I'm like, I be trying, like, hey, man, I hear you. You know how to make the money. You don't want to go to college. You rather slave, but I mean, you've seen people before you, so good luck.
Right.
Well, you know, with that kind of stuff, you know, I mean, because when I was younger, you know, I dabbled in some of that stuff. You know, I did a lot of that shit too. You know, I did a little bit of that shit. You know, we sold weed and pills and shit like that. You know, when I was a younger guy, you know, to make a little extra money. But
Right.
I never saw it. I never saw it as a career. Like, you know, I know there was never. Yeah, I never knew. I knew there was never going to be like, you know, a 401k plan involved, or you know, life insurance or no shit like that, or you know, stock options. You know, I knew there was never going to be no shit like
Prophet
that.
of
So I
thought.
never.
The prophet of thought nickel bag.
Yeah,
Social
I
Security
never
over
knew.
weed.
Yeah, I never knew it was never going to be that. You know, and if I had continued messing around with that shit, you know, I probably wouldn't be, you know, living a life. Yeah,
And there would be
I
no
wouldn't be
prophet of
living.
thought.
No, absolutely not. You know, I'll be somewhere in a damn cell talking the same shit, you know, to young brothers. You know, I'm dropping jewels on young brothers, you know, from inside the cell and shit. So,
With a
you know,
wave
I mean,
cavity, the beans
yeah,
and all
man,
that.
I never, cause I saw a lot of people go through that shit, man. Cause, you know, I wasn't raised in the hood, but I got a lot of exposure to the hood when I moved out of my parents' house. When I moved out of my parents' house, I was 17 when I moved out of there and lived on my own. And that's when I really started, because I knew people from the hood and shit and hung out with them, you know, and chased, you know, chicks from the hood, shit like that. But I wasn't raised in the hood. I got real exposure to the hood when I moved out of my parents' house. And I saw all of that shit. I saw, man, I know dudes now, man, that they still in prison now, man, and they went to prison when we were like in our 20s and shit. You know, friends of mine died, got killed, shot. You know, some of them right now, you know, they're in their 40s and 50s. They're still living in their mama house, you know. So I've seen it all, man. I've seen these things, and I've seen how lack of focus and lack of a plan will have you fucked up when you get to be 40 years old, 50 years old. You know, the lack of planning, the lack of finally growing up. Because one thing I realized I had to do by the time I was like 28, 29, I said, hey, look, I got to grow the hell up. You know, I had kids and shit, you know, that I had to take care of and all that kind of shit. So, you know, I think a lot of it has to do with us growing the hell up. I think a lot of brothers have just not grown up, even though they're 40, even though they're 50, they still haven't grown the hell up. I
You know what's
truly
crazy?
believe
That's
that.
exactly why I say that. That's why you see a lot of black males who are late bloomers when it comes to careers and financing and that type of stuff. You see a lot of that in the black community. You see a lot of black men who are successful, and when you look at their age, you would think that they've been successful for a while. And no, this is just happened within the last 10 years. It took a long time to get there.
And I noticed, man,
a lot of black men are being ill prepared. They've been ill trained, ill prepared. They're running into things and making a lot of mistakes that they should have been associated out of if they were.
And I noticed, man, and I'm gonna go out on a limb again. I noticed that the average hip hop listener, I would say starting in the 90s, maybe, is some reason why when you're stuck with that, it seems like it makes you stuck in time. Like you're not able to grow and you're sort of trying to relive everything that you keep mimicking as you get older.
Exactly.
And I was noticing the transition. Think about, let me see, 60s, 70s, 80s. There was always a transition of the music because you went from R&B, then funk, and all these different transitions. But there's no transition in hip hop hardly I would say from the late 90s, would y'all, or 2000 maybe? What would y'all say? Something became stagnant.
Well, this is the thing, that there is something that's become stagnant because the music has changed so much from generation to generation. One of the things, Art, that's always bothered me is that you got some of these white boys, these rock and roll heads,
yes,
who, like the Grateful Dead, who have been performing since the 60s or 70s, and they can continue performing all the way up to their old men. And you never hear white people or people who like them say, hey, they too old, they played out, why do we go see them? But when it comes to the rap game, for some reason, your career is a shelf life. So now, if you are a hot rapper, you're hot for a little while. Then when you get a little bit older, it seems like black people don't appreciate our icons in rap music. And this is why I can say this, because maybe 2 or 3 years ago, Art, you probably remember this. There was a tour. They had the old school rap concert tour that was going around. They had it in Long Beach. I went down to Long Beach with a female that I was involved with at the time. Checked them out. They came up to the area where I live at. You had Salt and Pepper. You had
was this with Chubb Rock? This one with Chubb Rock, right?
Yeah, this was during the summer when you had the old school rap festival. It was like an old school rap festival type thing.
I think Chubb Rock was in that one.
Yeah, and they had Grandmaster Melly Mel. They had like really good people, right? Even what's my man who sung the Booty song from Seattle? He was there.
Oh, Mr. Mix-a-Lot.
Yeah, my man with the long hair. What's his name? Coolio. He was there.
Yeah,
a bunch of people, man, right? And this is gonna make y'all laugh. And when I was there, and I looked around the arena, and I saw all these white folks, and I said, "Where is the black people?" And brothers, I'll tell you, I was like, when you eat Raisin Bran. I don't know how many of y'all ate Raisin Bran before. When you eat Raisin Bran and you get to the end of eating Raisin Bran and you just got the milk, and you'll see a couple of little dark raisins in there amongst the milk. That's how I felt at the damn concert. It was like I was one of the only black people in the crowd. I was like, wait a minute.
That's like jazz.
It was black people it was black folks that put them on first. Where we don't even support our icons in our damn rap music that most of us grew up with as Generation Xers.
I have to say, and maybe it's just the Gen Xer in me, but I still find the genre of old school rap pretty strange because the shit just came out to me, at least to me. I mean, it's not. We're talking about what mid '80s, early '90s is when it really started to really take off, and the whole genre, the whole idea of old school rap goes right to what you said. We just throw away our some of our best people. I think
that, with jazz,
right? I mean, when you look at the Dr. Dre's and all that, I still think maybe I'm just being nostalgic and but I still think probably one of the best still producers out there.
Did you hear about Mary Wells though? That documentary on Mary Wells? I mean, I know y'all heard of Mary Wells.
Yeah, I've
Yes,
heard of
she's
them.
old school.
But you would think that a lot of black folks would support her before she passed. Most people that were packing her concerts were Mexican lowriders.
Right, because a
Yeah.
They
lot
were
of the
supporting her.
Mexicans, especially in
But
California, they like that old school music.
yeah, black folks were not around to support her. You know what I'm saying?
Because we treat it like professional sports. Once you start off young, you can start off professional sports
Treat 'em like
relatively
running
young. Yeah. You get to be 17, 18, you can start professional sports. But once you get to be about 35, 36, you're kind of out of there, and we look at it the same way. But it's crazy because down here where I live at in the Queen City, those old school rappers like Dougie Fresh, Big Daddy Kane, Biz Markie, people like that, man, they make a killing down here.
Yeah.
They do concerts down here every year. They come down here and rock out.
But brother
every
X,
year.
You do realize that most of your old school rappers that you just mentioned, where do they make most of their biggest money at? Come on. Across seas.
Yeah.
Going to Japan.
that's true.
Going to Japan, China, Europe.
You're absolutely right.
Right? See, this is the thing that kills me. When you look at white boys and they're listening to Grateful Dead, ADC, AC/DC and all that punk rock, all that stuff from the past, you can't tell a white boy today that those groups are not relevant anymore. You can't. They'll fight you tooth and nail over that. But black folks, we don't put our icons of music that we grew up with, we don't put them on the same goddamn pedestal. They will tell you all day it's about AC/DC.
Also, info, they sell their shirts at Target.
Right.
Still do.
So what? So then, brother, wait a minute, brother Black. Let me ask you the most logical question: why in the hell do we not have shirts and merchandise of our icons sold in the stores? And we don't even sell them our damn self half the time. That's my question.
Man, that right there would be. If we get to the bottom of that, you're going to offend a lot of people because it goes
we
back to
consider them irrelevant.
It goes back to what you're saying about this microwave society, especially in the black community.
I looked at it. Oh, go ahead, fam.
No, I'm saying it just goes to that microwave mentality. Everything now and all that. So if it ain't popping or hitting now, a lot of that. The stuff that they listen to now, right? It's irrelevant.
Irrelevant, man.
That trap music, the stuff that they listen to now, that mumble rap, that crap, that ain't that for me. That to me, again, maybe just showing my age, but that's not even music. It's nowhere near music.
Well, yeah, I'm gonna say something. I'm gonna make a lot of people mad. I don't give a shit. This is my channel, so that's what I'm gonna do.
It's your turn.
The reason that these things are the way that they are. Because, see, we as black people, right, what we often do, and you guys can correct me if I'm wrong, because we all Gen Xers here, right? The underclass of us, the quote-unquote underclass, usually dictates the culture for the most part. And not just for the people who are in the underclass, because you have people who are not necessarily in the underclass trying to mimic the underclass. So anything that kind of resembles the underclass, that kind of takes over the culture. It kind of takes it over, and that's where the influence comes from.
So
you understand?
X, what you said is a profound, deep statement because of the fact that that's why, tell me if I'm wrong or right, that's why a Cardi B or a Meg Thee Stallion can manipulate and socially change our culture, because I can go on Instagram right now. You are absolutely right. I can go on Instagram right now or even Facebook, and you will see women who are that are not even of that ilk, and they will be twerking.
I knew.
You'll have. I've seen this on Instagram where you have on my Facebook people that I even knew too. They'll have women will have these lingerie parties where they're dressed in lingerie and they're twerking and laughing and eating and drinking and having a little party.
35 years old doing it.
And you know that these are women that are not of that ilk, but for whatever, they're being influenced by that culture.
55.
Right.
God damn it.
Look, let me tell you a funny quick story. I know somebody personally who I know.
I'm related to several of those
that I know personally, that when they were in my presence and I said to them, what's wrong with your hip? You know, this is an older woman. She's an older woman. And we used to work together. I said, what's wrong? Why are you having a problem with your hip? And she said, oh, one night, I was at home with some of my lady friends and we were twerking and I got to twerking and I hurt something. I mean, I said, God damn.
Brother X, these old mamas, man.
These old mamas.
When people are dancing.
I knew it was going to go there when you asked that question.
They said shake it, but don't break it.
Well, a lot of people breaking it out there.
That's where we are, man. I'm telling you, we have taken the underclass and the quote unquote undesirable elements of our society, and we have put that shit at the top, and many people try to emulate it. And you can understand people who are within that quote unquote undesirable underclass. You can kind of understand why they would mimic it. But when you have people who are not necessarily there, they're mimicking it too. Like you just said, I mean, there's chicks in their 50s who think they fucking Cardi B, man.
Let's go to Chris Brown.
Brother X, what demographic among us, what demographic among us is running this community to even do that?
We already know. We already know what it is.
I mean, who are the top people, the top demographics in our community that is championing this debauchery?
I'll tell you who it is.
These old mamas.
And people get mad at me when I say black men of any worth in the community who cares about the community need to replace them with other black people, other black women of other cultures. I'm sorry, because that's what our community is being led by. Right there, 50-year-olds who want to twerk.
Yep. I mean, shit, man. At some point, man, and like I said, I feel like these are people who haven't grown up, man. It's the Peter Pan syndrome and shit. You know, you're 50 years old, man. You're still trying to do the same shit that 20-year-olds are doing. I mean, to me, that's just absurd. You know, because I mean, I have children in their 30s. All right. I have a teenage granddaughter. I couldn't imagine trying to act like some 20, 30-year-old guy. I couldn't imagine trying to act like a 40-year-old guy at my age, you know? So, I mean, we have to pay attention, man, to the shit that we see around here. And I know people will say, well, you know, some people just don't know. And some people, bullshit. You 50 years old, you know your black ass ain't supposed to be out there twerking on a Facebook page that you friends with your daughter and your granddaughter with. You shouldn't be on that page twerking. I shouldn't see you, because I would lose my mind if I was a 16-year-old kid and I look up and my grandmama is twerking on fucking Instagram. Like, come on, man. Come on. And that is a real thing. That's a real thing.
And a real problem.
Yep, you can literally see your grandmother twerking on Facebook right alongside your mother.
And these
you
are
can literally see that.
These are the women that our 12-year-old girls are looking up to. That is a frightful. Look, I have a soon-to-be 9-year-old daughter. That is a frightful picture in my mind.
Absolutely.
Let me ask the fellas this. How often you hear sisters check Cardi B?
Check her.
No, they want to be like Cardi B.
They all want to be her. Why would
Man,
they
it
check
breaks
her?
my
They want to
heart.
be her.
This X, I'm gonna leave the panel with this. Carly B should be irrelevant in our culture. One, she isn't really black.
Fact.
Two, Cardi B is a woman who raped black men. What did she do?
Big fact. She should be in prison.
And bragged about it.
When she
And
was
bragged about it.
stripping, when she was a stripper, she would lure men to the hotel with the thinking that they were going to get sexual pleasure. She would roofie their drinks so that they would
And she
become
said it.
unconscious.
She said that's what she did.
And then she would let her how can I say this?
Training.
She would let her transformer friends, you know what that means, her transformer friends come in the room while black men were unconscious, and guess what? Let
Rape
them do what they wanted to do sexually to that black man, like fellatio while he's unconscious. And then what? Then when he would wake up, what would happen? His wallet would be empty. Now you will have people out there that would say, well, that's what those men got. Wait a minute. If a black man meets a woman, you got to make good choices, of course. But if you're meeting a female and she's saying she's down with having some fun with you, whether you agree with his choice in female he's going to have sex with, those black men were not looking to be date raped and roofied and to have transformers come in and do things to them. You hear what I'm saying? So her doing that alone, I would like to know, black women alone should have should have stopped supporting her once they found out that she did that to black men, especially knowing that she's not even black herself. And you notice she still has a flourishing career.
That's because
even though
now women,
look, check this out. What if it was a black man or some other dude? Like what happened with Meg Thee Stallion saying, "Where's my protection?" When Mr. Tory, whatever that cat is from Jamaica, got herself caught up with him, and then something happened. If a black entertainer that women loved, like an R. Kelly, for example, who went to jail, of course, was to get on air and say, back as I was struggling to get into my career, I used to lure women to my room, and I would roofie them, and then have my friends come in and do things to him where I walked out the door. Mm-hmm. Now, if any black male entertainer was to say that, that would be the end of his career. Not today, not tomorrow. I mean, but
he
today.
Wouldn't get another record deal or another film. He wouldn't get another opportunity. You better save your coin. You better hope you didn't spend all your money, because you would never get another opportunity.
Yes, he would be finished,
and he'd be in prison.
Right.
He'd be in prison too.
Oh, they'll find a way. They will find a way. Let me see. Look, Cardi B's being celebrated for this, and this is what. And again, I can't emphasize this enough. This is what's running the black community, right here, right. They celebrate Cardi B for that. That's the debauchery. That is the type of subculture that is running the black community.
Yep.
They are reproducing. And I say we should replace their asses. They don't deserve.
Get in there and fix this shit. Good luck. I mean,
you're not going to fix them. The only way to deal with that is to just not give them our reproductive property at all, not even for pleasure. Period.
You don't want these folks rearing your children, brothers. You don't. Not these folks. These aren't the folks to be rearing your children, man.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry. The ADOS women, foundational Black American women, they have descended so far into an abyss of just absolute just garbage. And they have a lot to answer. When they celebrated Cardi B, for me, for that crap, they have a lot. Black America, they have a lot to answer for.
This is what I want to encourage a lot of sisters to do. I know some sisters probably saw this in Roots. There's a part in Roots where Kuta Kinte escaped and he was looking for Fanta. And he finally found her. And he thought that he was going to find that princess that was back in Africa in Jufure, but she had like a perm type look. And she said, "My name is not Fanta anymore; it's Maggie."
Yeah, I know. Yeah.
I am a master's bed wench.
Yeah.
And the thing is that I don't think it was just about that series. I think that was symbolizing a population of people.
Yep.
And I think the sisters really need to study that because in some way, whether it's physical or mental, it seemed like that's their story. I mean, they don't have to be bed wenching per se, but they are following certain things that don't really help the community. And it's been going on for years. I know we have our issues, but
not like that.
But the thing is that these are things that we as men can point out while we're working on our stuff.
And what makes it so bad, because me, quite frankly, I don't care what grown assholes do. Do whatever you want. Go out and just do what you want. My problem is they pass it down to the children. They teach the children this bullshit, man. That's what really gets me. The fact that they are influencing a lot of the children. Many of the children, probably most of the children. I mean, you have children, they're being raised by
these old
right
mamas.
So they're being raised by these people who are taking their cues from the Cardi B's of the world. They're taking their cues from the Meg Thee Stallions of the world. So what's happening is indirectly the children are being indoctrinated with this culture. The children are being taught that this bullshit is normal. The children are being taught that this is what it is. The children are being taught a culture of failure. They're being taught this culture of failure. Now, people will say, "Oh man, you don't know that." Yes, I do know that because the statistics bear it out. They bear it out. I mean, you will hear people say, well, I know somebody, they was raised by a single mother and she was a crack whore and they're a astronaut. Yeah, one person. There's 40 some odd goddamn million of us. Name me 10, name me 20, name me 30, 40, 50. You can't, because see, things like that are an anomaly. If you got these ratchet ass women running around here imitating Cardi B, all right, and they're raising children, these children are for the most part doomed. They're doomed, especially if they don't have some type of male figure in their life. Forget it. So when we have people like this in charge of the next generation, we can already predict what's going to happen when that next generation gets to be 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. We can almost predict it. Why? Because of what these children are being indoctrinated with. Especially when you have people walking around here, man, acting like these entertainers are their deities, are their gods, and they're emulating them, especially people who've had children young. When they're in the same generation as their children, and you got the 15-year-old daughter and the 29-year-old mother both listening to the same music, both sharing clothes, both chasing the same kind of men. I mean, you can't tell me that that's a productive environment. And a lot of this shit is caused because, like I said earlier, you have the underclass or elements of the underclass influencing a society. The underclass is influencing the society. So when you got the underclass influencing the society, man, the fucking society is gonna go nowhere. Even if you are a person who has a degree of success and a degree of money, if you're a person that's trying to emulate the underclass, there's something wrong with you, because what you're saying is, forget the success I have, forget the money I have, forget the life I live. I want to emulate this lower dregs of society. That represents me. That's what represents me. I mean, to me, it's just the craziest thing, man. It's the craziest thing that we let the shit that most of us should shun, we're letting that lead us. We're letting that be our guide. We're taking our cues from it. I mean, there's no way Black society can improve like that. I just don't think it's going to happen, because if you think Black society is going to improve like that, what you're asking the world to do is to accept that. And I think there's a lot of that in Black society. We think that the world is supposed to accept our dysfunctional bullshit. We think the world's supposed to change, accept our dysfunctional bullshit, as opposed to us saying, okay, let's stop fucking being dysfunctional, and maybe we may have a greater amount of success. We don't want to do that. We don't want to stop dysfunction. We don't want to stop the nonsense that has killed us, kept us poor, all right, put us in jail, put us in the cemetery. We don't want to get rid of none of that shit. What we want the world to accept it. As we continue to die, as we continue to live in poverty, as we continue to not have any wealth, as we continue to not be able to build and grow. I mean, why would we want to stay on that same path? Why? What good is it doing? We see the results of it. We see it. Why would we want to stay on that path, man? But go ahead.
And just think about this. The woman that's running for the second highest office in the land is bumping to this chick's music. And
the
person that's supposed to be on the top of her ticket is having an interview with her.
That ticket there is perhaps the worst ticket for Black men. That could not have been a worse presidential ticket for Black men.
If Biden gets elected, I'm telling y'all,
it's not gonna be no good for Black men. It ain't gonna be good. It's not gonna be good.
Look forward to
I'm not a Trump supporter. I didn't
Kamala Harris,
but that ticket, that's bad.
Look forward to President Kamala Harris.
Yes.
If Biden gets elected, that's what's gonna happen.
Joe Biden don't even know what it is right now. Right now, tomorrow morning he's gonna wake up, he doesn't know what day it is. That man, he is. I'm serious. They couldn't get a woman to be nominated, so they go on the goddamn back doorway to force feed this goddamn woman down the throats of the American people.
Absolutely.
And again, I didn't vote for Trump. I'm sorry. I couldn't. There's nowhere in the world I vote for that man. But there's nowhere in the world that I will vote for a Dixiecrat and a fake ass, phony ass, quote unquote Black woman. No way. That is the worst. I'm telling you right now, Black men, get ready. Because if they are elected, if you think you got it bad now, you just wait until those two bastards get into office.
Get used to seeing President Kamala Harris.
It's going to be bad. It's going to be bad news.
Well, her victory is depending on the white woman's vote, because they already got enough Black women and all that. It's that white woman.
Oh yeah, they got them. You can forget it.
They ain't gonna get the black. They ain't gonna get the Black male vote.
No,
because she got that white husband though.
Well, it depends. I think that probably about 70% of Black men are still going to vote Democratic. About 30% of them are going to vote for Trump, but I think they're gonna go right to the Democratic plantation. See, me, I'm not a Democrat. I haven't been a Democrat. I left the Democratic plantation about 25 years ago. I'm a registered independent, so I
So
can
am I.
only
I'm a registered
only.
independent.
Yep, I'm registered. Well, down here they register you as UNA, unaffiliated, and because no party owns me. Now people will say, "Oh man, X, you're riding the fence." You goddamn right, because see, I will vote for the person who speaks to my interests. I don't give a shit what party they're from. I mean, if you speak to my interests, you're likely to get my vote, because see, as an independent, I can only vote in general elections anyway. I can't vote in primaries. So, I only can vote in the generals. The primaries, I have to be an observer. I cannot vote in them. But the generals come up, and I can vote. And me, I'm more interested in local politics, because local politics have more of an effect on my life, because that's where I get my permits, that's where I get my authorizations and zonings and shit I can do. Federal politics, because see, I don't have any federal contracts. So what goes on the federal level doesn't really affect me, but I have a lot of state contracts, county contracts, local contracts. So that affects me, because they dictate, where I can work, what materials I can use, what permits I have to have, zoning laws, all that shit is affected by local politics. So I'm more keyed into that as opposed to the, on the federal level, because it doesn't really affect me like that. It just doesn't. I mean, no matter who's sitting in the big chair, no matter who's sitting in that chair, my life hasn't changed much. When I tell people that shit, oh, that's what you're talking about. It's the truth. I mean, when I started my business, Obama was in the chair, and goddamn it, Trump came into the chair, and guess what?
Didn't change it that much, did it?
Yeah, ain't shit changed. Not a goddamn
right.
thing.
And that's the reason why I kept my vote local, because no one in the national races, at least not for here in Illinois, and definitely not the presidency, not one spoke for the black community. Not one. Not one had any type of, and if anything, especially when it comes to the Democrats, I mean, they purposely put it amongst the party bosses, basically say don't say anything specific for black folks. And then you had Kamala Harris get on TV. I ain't doing a goddamn thing for you. Well, then you don't want my vote, because if that's the case, then why do I care if Trump stays in office or leave? What does it matter to me? If nothing's going to change, I'm saying right now, really, nothing has really significantly changed since from Obama to Trump, at least not for the black community. There's been no real change. So what's the point?
Shit ain't
Not
shit changed for me.
Right.
Ain't shit changed for me.
It didn't really change for me. Not
I guess because I ain't in a high enough tax bracket. If I was in a higher tax bracket, maybe it would be different. But
it didn't really change me. And I would dare say that the racist orange orangutan versus the Dixiecrat, it ain't gonna be no difference with them two. What difference is it gonna make? And I'm gonna be honest, I'm not sure if I really want, because we all know Biden's not really gonna be running the nation. You get that ticket into, he's not mentally competent enough to run the nation. I'm sorry, he's just not.
I think he's gonna win, though, man. I think Biden's
I
gonna
don't know.
win.
I really don't know. I don't think. I don't know if Harris Biden is actually going to win, because I think the Democrats. I really do think that they made a real mistake, a miscalculation by picking Harris as VP. I think they made a real mistake. I could be wrong.
Well,
I think
they
made a terrible mistake, at least on that part.
Well, the reason why I say that is because I think a lot of people who voted for Trump have buyer's remorse. I think a lot of them have.
But they're not dumb. They can see the same things that we see. You can see that Biden is not going to be running. He's already said he's not going to run for. He's already said it's going to be a one-termer. He's already said.
Yeah.
So and everybody can
well,
see.
shit,
I mean, this
he's
man
77, isn't he?
right.
He's
falling
77,
asleep.
78 years
This
old.
man, he can't stay away from his own national TV interviews.
Yeah, see.
So
I'm
they
telling
see
you,
the same thing that we see, and they're looking like, who is this VP?
President Kamala Harris.
Exactly.
That's what's coming down the pipe, y'all.
That is
President
not.
Kamala Harris.
Not anything. That is not anything they want. Now, again, she's not going to do anything for black folks, so they're comfortable in that.
Oh, absolutely, absolutely.
She's stated.
Well,
but
this is what I say, man, is that it seems like, I guess when it comes to black folks, it seems like they don't care about the black vote when it comes to
no, they do care about it. They just
Kamala
want it,
and
but that's about it.
Kamala and Trump. This is stuff, like the stuff that they're saying. I mean, they're like they're obviously turning people off, you know, because it's not a secret that get your booty by the pole and that whole battle rap stuff. That was from the administration. That wasn't from nobody else. And I think that people were just turned off that not only your vote is not respected, but the fact on the way that you try to court the vote. You know, even down to when Cube, you know, said that, hey, I put the whole contract out there, and the Trump people were willing to speak about it, but on the Biden side, they were like, we'll see you after the election. I'm like, I mean, it's like so many things that it's like they don't care. I don't know if they're really trying to win, to be honest. And Trump, he's just the same person. So,
well, you got to think when like I tell people all the time. I mean, when you're voting, especially when you're voting and there's an incumbent, you know, if there's an open seat and two people are vying for it, that's one thing. But when you have an incumbent in there already, you're voting for either one or two things, man. You're either voting for more of the same or something different. Those are your options, right? So it's basically going to come down to if more people want more of the same, whatever the same is for folks, or they want something different, whatever different is for folks, because that's basically what you're voting for. You're voting for either more of the same shit, or let's try something different, some different shit. That's basically what your vote comes down to, man.
I think people may be afraid of voting for something worse.
But here's the thing, though. When it comes to Black America, neither one is not going to make any. When you say, oh, okay, you know, you're voting for something different. What's going to be different with the Biden-Harris administration in terms of Black America? What's going to be different?
It wouldn't be different just for because of the fact that they both sides ignore Black issues.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Well,
I mean, so
it's
I mean, white
difference.
America can vote. White America, they can take that stance.
Yeah, that's what X is talking about.
Say, okay, what's going to be the do I want the devil I do I want the devil I know versus the one I don't know for change?
They have that luxury.
Yeah. They have something tangible to actually get out of it, even if they don't get everything that they want. Black man ain't getting nothing out of either one. So I mean, voting different how?
The only thing
what's the difference?
The only thing is that one side wrote policy that affect people's lives for decades, and the other person just speaks rhetoric. So which one you want?
And the crazy thing is, I don't know anybody Black, and I deal with quite a few brothers who own businesses like myself. I deal with brothers who own really, really big businesses. I mean, there's a few brothers that I service their equipment, man. These guys have, they have 20 crews, they have 35 trucks, they have a fucking 10,000 fucking square foot, warehouse that they operate out of. And even guys like that, they don't say, all this has changed for them since Trump got in office. All these things have changed, because I deal with brothers who own big ass businesses, and none of them have told me, well, since Trump's been in office, shit's better. No, I haven't heard that. I hear the same shit I say myself, that, since Trump's been in office, nothing has changed for me, man. It hasn't been different. I don't make more money. You know why I made more money this year than I normally make? Because of this COVID shit.
Exactly.
Had nothing unless you wanna attribute that to Trump. I mean, but I mean the COVID shit caused me to make more money because people were more concerned, and I did a lot more mobile shit because people didn't want to leave. So I made probably 50% more on the season than I normally would. But Trump didn't have shit to do with it.
Right.
Nothing.
Right.
Nothing.
Yeah.
So I'm going to peel out you guys. But
yeah, we about to close this out. Any parting shots, man, before you go, brother Art?
Say no to drugs, stay in school, and don't be starting forest fires. Stay off the drugs, all that kind of stuff. But yeah, man, I appreciate you letting us on, and always a pleasure to build with some real brothers, some real conversation, some grown up stuff.
Absolutely.
I let my son hear some of it while I was cooking. So
oh
this is
damn,
stuff
the
that
way
we
I
need.
Good, man.
the way I can use profanity, you sure you want to be letting him listen to X, man? Jesus.
He's a senior in high school, so
okay,
Oh,
okay.
he ain't got no virgin ears, man. He needed to hear it.
yeah, we preparing it for college right now. So
Preparing for
All
war.
right.
so he
Tell
knows.
him OX said, hey, man.
I'll let him know. All right, you
My
guys,
brother.
y'all stay well, and I'll see y'all somewhere else.
Absolutely, man. Peace,
Peace,
brother
brother,
Art.
peace.
My brother.
Peace to you.
Brother Perfect Black, any parting shots, man, before we peel up out of here?
Hey, man, this is a real good and productive discussion. I quite frankly, I hope is other men listen to this, let their sons hear this, because I love conversations like this when it's as he was saying, grown up, mature, conversations, not the and not the bullshit mess. You know what I mean? Whereas where we're productive, we're talking about careers, talking about how, about mentoring and all of that, for black men. Those are the productive conversations that I love, man. And I don't care if it only get maybe 20, viewers, but those are the more productive ones, because those are the ones that we need more than just the goddamn bullshit.
That's true.
Those are the ones that we need more than anything else. Because we need, if not us, then who? We have to take the reins of the future minds, because as we can see, Dr. T.P.O.T Johnson just did. I was listening to a video that was, one of his latest releases about how the black boys have been purposely, held back, and just look. If not us, then who? Because the school system definitely don't want to do it. So we're gonna have to do it. So conversations like this, Brother X, is exactly what these young brothers need to listen to. 12, 13, 14. They need to listen to stuff like this. By force, if we have to. If you got any influence on any young black male mind, he needs to sit down and listen to stuff like this. So that's why I try my best to make sure that I'm a part of. So, man, I definitely thank you, for having me, bro.
Anytime, brother. You already know, man. You're always welcome up here on the T.P.O.T YouTube page. My brother, Perfect Black. Peace.
Peace, bro. Peace. Good night, man.
Peace, brother. Yeah, we're gonna go ahead and wrap this up. Go ahead and turn the camera on. God damn it. Yeah, I know y'all was looking forward to Brother Jay Sean, but Brother Jay Sean had an emergency, like I said, and he had some shit he had to do. We probably gonna catch up on another Saturday. But I'm gonna hit y'all in the head with some programming notes one more time. Wednesday night, we're probably gonna do a debate, y'all. But Thursday, the one and only Dr. T. Hassan Johnson will be in the house, man, and we'll be talking about hating on masculinity with Dr. T. Hassan Johnson. You heard me. The good doc will be in Thursday night, October 22nd. Make sure you have your black behinds here, because if you don't, I will haunt your old mammy in her dreams. All right? All right. So, I'm going to run a little bit of my commercials here, and I will see y'all on the other side of the break, and then we're going to peel up out of here. All right? All right. Once I freaking figure out what I'm doing here.
And now, a word from our sponsor. This exciting episode comes courtesy of Obsidian versus the World. Hey, fellas, you know my Obsidian versus the Black Love Industry series have been so popular that we here at Obsidian Radio decided to just go all out with it, since everybody and their grandmama is gunning for me anyway, like, oh, it's John Wick or something. Fuck it. We're going to do a brand new show over at Brother Xavier's Prophet of Thought channel right here on YouTube. We call it Obsidian versus the World. That's right, fellas. Obsidian versus the World. This is a special show that is aimed at all the haters of your Lord and Master, Mumia Obsidian Ali. Think you got what it takes to take on the O-Man, Mano, Amano? Step right up and let's see what you got. In this show, Obsidian versus the World. I take on all comers, even up to 4 of you knuckleheads at the same time. That's right. Never before have you seen one man defeat 4 knuckleheads at the same time in rhetorical battle. It all goes down this Saturday at 8 p.m. EDT. Mark your calendar, get your popcorn ready, because it's Obsidian versus the World. Don't miss it. Obsidian versus the World. It all goes down on Saturday at the Prophet of Thought channel on YouTube. I'll see you then. And thank you.
Peace, folks. Open your mind. Wednesday, we throw down in the digital square circle on Hours of Power debates. Thursday, we get at it with DXL, Dark Exodus Live. So come through, 9:30 p.m., right here on the T.P.O.T. YouTube page. You know.
Yeah. We're going to peel on up out of here, man. I appreciate you good folks, man. I appreciate these good folks right here in this here chat. And I appreciate you good folks out there, man, for hanging out with us, man, and spending some time with us, man. Special shout out to the brothers, my brother Art, brother Perfect Black, brother Info, and brother Gabe A for coming through, man, and contributing to the conversation, man. It's always a good thing, man, to have the good brothers up here, man, chopping it up, man, and talking about some things. But most importantly, man, I want to thank you. All right. I appreciate the super chats, the cash apps, all that, man. As always, it's appreciated, man. I'm humbled by it. I'm honored by it. And I am grateful and thankful for it. All right. So, with that, I will leave you with 3 words. you know, like I always do.
Open your mind. Open your mind. Open your mind. The prophet of thought.
Peace, folks. I'll see y'all Thursday night.
Open your mind. Open your mind. Open your mind. The prophet of thought. Open your mind. Open your mind. Open your mind. The prophet of thought. Open your mind. Open your mind. Open your mind. The prophet of thought. Open your mind. Open your mind. Open your mind. The prophet of thought. Open your mind. Open your mind. Open your mind. Open your mind. Only from the Prophet of Thought series media.
You know, you know, you know, you know, you know.
Open your mind. Open your mind. Open your mind. Open your mind. Open your